What's up, everyone? I am very excited for this, the first episode of Tag Me Out Fighting Game Podcast. And I'm here with the boys. I got Rodimus Prime. Say what's up.
Hey guys, it's good to see you.
I also got with me Nuclear Taco.
Hey Tucker, glad to be here to be able to discuss this. Thanks to Sal for inviting me.
Oh, yeah, no problem. I also got here with the boy Mobius Raven, too.
Hello, everyone. It's good to see everybody again. Looking forward to this.
I know it's been a minute. Well, technically, it hasn't been any minute because this is the first one ever.
But it has been a
I think
good
the
minute
last time
since
I
we've
did
been
something
together.
like this was yeah, all four of us, yeah. But here with this episode, we're going to be talking about the tag-based fighting game situation. Where I honestly feel like a lot of the tag people are just unhappy with the games coming out. From what I've been seeing on like Twitter and shit. So I invited some of my tag friends to see like the Mortal Kombat player. So we're going to be discussing the new tag games coming out, including HunterxHunter that already came out, but we're probably not going to talk about that. Okay. Let's get started on our first topic. He'll come in when he's ready. And Rob, you want to start us off because these are your topics anyway, so I'm not going to take credit for it.
Oh no, this is fine. It's dispersed between all of us here. It's an open topic. So to start us off here in delving into the points here, I want to go into the tone here. So in terms of talking about tag-based fighters, like if these games are being made easier to accommodate or to cater to the casuals, but house a more common competitor or the competitive interest, then why can't the prices reflect that with mode of entry? Or why can't the outlines be better gauged for the pricing in order to fit the type of marketing that they're trying to go for with the demographic or the audience to those IPs or the results of the marketing? Because I feel like for a lot of the era that's going into what I'm seeing here with 2XKO or HunterxHunter or Invincible versus Grain or Marvel Tokon, I feel like while Invincible has yet to have its price tag divulged, the others already are revealed. And so I feel like it might not totally fit the bill for the starting point of entry that they want to go for. And then next I feel like, is there a misconception in tag-based games being easier to get into than single-play fighting games? Or are they more appealing? Or is it just easier to have cop-outs with this style of genre that haven't been seen yet to the public? That question in particular, chat, I ask because you notice how in this era we're kind of transitioning more from single-playing fighting games into tag-based fighting games. Like, why do you feel like we pivoted from one-on-one style into this since 2025 began? Do you believe that any of these games, newer titles, even in 2XKO's instance in being a free-to-play game, do you believe there's anything about this game or these titles that'll sway the FGC climate in a more productive direction or value or narrative? That's my tone here for the topic today, chat.
Yeah, that's a lot of questions, man. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Oh, we're just going down these one by one. We're just going down these one by one. We're not tackling it all in one thing. We're fine.
Right.
Well,
All right, let's start off with the first one then. So the pricing, I could actually agree with you on this one, dude. I think games nowadays are just too expensive in general, especially for what we're getting. Specifically for like HunterxHunter, bro. That's a $60. Like, what is it? $60?
Yeah.
Plus another $20 for the season pass.
Yeah, it's a $60 game that has anime slideshows for cutscenes and no real content.
So did BBTAG.
That's what, like.
Exactly, and that's still an issue.
Well, BBTAG wasn't $60, bro. It never was. It was like.
It was
$30.
originally going to be until we complained about it, and then they gave us a mulligan.
He is right.
Dude, I think.
I mean, that's fair, but they still changed the price for it at least. That's a fair price. Honestly, $30 for BBTAG, that's fair.
Dude, when did
Yeah.
BBTAG come out? Like 2014, 2016?
It's as
2018,
it's as
bro.
old as Fighters. It came out in
What?
2018.
It came out after Dragon Ball.
Dude,
Yeah.
it doesn't even feel like that. I feel like BBTAG's been around for so much longer.
No, the IP's been
It
around
was in a
for
weird situation where they would like the game would get an update like yearly, but they would never advertise it. It would just randomly happen.
Yeah, they kept shadow dropping that shit and making the community go crazy. But anyway, enough about that. Let's go into pricing. So obviously, yeah, video game prices are absurd nowadays. And I think we obviously, gamers in general want to go back to times where we would get AA games at like half the price of like these big ass AAA games. And you think fighting games would be a perfect fit for that, right? Because yeah, there's a lot of work to go into fighting games, but comparatively, I don't think it's as much as like a big budget AAA title. And with the limited content that they have, you know, I think it'd be pretty good for them to be like a $30 to $40 price range with some DLC afterwards. I think it'd be a perfect fit for that. But, you know, these companies want their money too.
Wait, Taco, besides Tekken, Street Fighter, and MK, what would be considered AAA for a fighting game?
I mean, so
Strive now.
yeah, Strive,
Yeah.
you can now count that.
Okay. I was just wondering.
And Dragon Ball, I guess.
Yeah, it's definitely a AAA.
Yeah, I guess you could say Dragon Ball AAA.
If we're talking about Arxis like pre Dragon Ball, to be honest, yeah, that's not a AAA company, but Arxis now is definitely a AAA company, and it's mostly because of the success of Dragon Ball,
Pretty much.
in my opinion at least. But
It
really is.
It's a massive contributor to it.
If
Is
I'm
it
not
Dragon Ball
mistaken,
not
isn't
Dragon Ball?
MK the biggest casual fighting game? Like it has
Pretty
the
much.
biggest casual audience?
That's if you want to count. That's if you want to count Smash, which a lot of people wouldn't. But I would just for the sake of it. It's definitely Smash. But MK is like right under it though.
That's what
if we're talking about traditional fighting game, then yes. Let's put it like that.
Yeah.
Tekken would also be in that category.
I think it's not
but
even
there's a lot of
really
people that play that
close
game, though.
because I feel like MK it has that casual reach of gore and just pure just chaos kind of.
Pretty much. I mean, MK's been around. It's a mixture of two things. It's been around since the '90s, so almost everyone knows about it. Similar on a level of Street Fighter, and it also has, like you said, the gore, the violence, just the appeal that casuals like because they like to have that violent stuff in their games. And MK just has a reach that most of the fighting games can't have.
You have to understand that MK is a game that is fun to watch. I think there's a lot more people that like to watch Mortal Kombat than actually play Mortal Kombat, and that's why they never see entrances in tournaments, but you do see large pop bonuses.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's true.
Well,
That's
also
fair.
MK is very weird, bro. It's a weird fighting game to play. It's not normal.
like anything else.
It's-
Yeah.
It suffers from a
It
weird,
is a
like,
fighting game. It's a
generational crisis
legitimate-
issue, but it still has that popularity that matches those IPs.
So who was saying MK is about taking different advantage states while Street Fighter was more neutral based?
They're both neutral based in their own ways. It's just, I don't know. They're just.
I mean, there's a reason why we call games spectator games.
MK is definitely it can be a spectator game. It
Like,
is
if you
so
pick
easy for that game to snowball.
Yeah, but the thing is, MK, like we talked about earlier, it's got the violence, it's got the goal, and it's got legacy, and people just enjoy watching the spectacle combat compared to just like a traditional 2D fighter game for the most part.
You know,
That's why like it's just popular with the masses.
Even though MK is super popular, no one can tell me MK1 was worth $70.
Hell no.
And I'm an MK. I'm an
No,
MK.
no.
Oh no, I cried paying for that shit.
Nah, dude, MK1 was it was such a travesty of a game.
How many people bought Chaos Reigns?
Year, probably. You're talking. Out of all five that's in here, I'm probably the only one who bought it.
I did not buy that shit. I already dropped MK1 before that.
I bought it, but I waited for it was on sale. Cause I was like, fuck that shit.
Well, dude, it was like $50 for DLC or some shit like that. It was practically a new game. Like,
Basically.
Characters.
Yeah, it was $60.
So with that as like, so with this topic, I also want this to go into another topic, which is about like appealing to casuals, stuff like that. So, in my opinion, a big problem a lot of fighting games, a lot of modern fighting games specifically, is just the lack of content like outside of the pure fighting. Because let's take MK1 for example. You do the story mode. There's literally nothing else after that. Yeah, you have that one mode where it's like a board game and stuff, but everyone hated that because it was boring as shit.
We don't talk about that mode. That mode is garbage.
we don't talk about that.
Yeah, exactly. Proving my point though. Yeah, it was so garbage that people found it so boring that they didn't want to play it. And then after that, there's no content. At least MK11 had the crypt and the towers and stuff, so they could like justify spending more time in the game. But for a lot of casuals, they just want to play single player content.
Well, also MK was known for like wacky content back in like the PS2 era. It was like
Yes, sir. Deception.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat, where it was really fucking Mario Kart with Mortal Kombat characters, or chess combat, which everyone wants them to bring back these game modes, but they won't for some reason.
So out of everybody in the call, I think I can say that I am the most casual here. And what I think it is roster and roster size. A lot of these new games don't have a lot of people that I want to play or necessarily new characters that entice me. MK has Reptile for me, but like Street Fighter 6 doesn't have necessarily anybody I've been wanting to play. Besides maybe Viper. Viper was like the first character where I was like, ooh, I want to play her.
I mean, the problem with that in
2XKO, Invincible, HunterxHunter, and Marvel. All four of those games, I have nobody exciting to play. Nobody is really shouting at me. And I think a lot of casuals feel that way.
Can you like maybe elaborate more? Like, what exactly makes a character enticing for you to play?
When I see like a Marvel character and they're doing something like loops, something with a lot of pressure, maybe a grappler with a lot of just tools, it's hard to explain, but easy to see.
So your problem is that like a lot of characters kind of seem just basic and nothing really special to them.
It's kind of like they're getting rid of character diversity where you can play multiple ways of one character. Instead, they're trying to force an archetype on every character and you have to play them that way. I hate that.
Welcome to modern fighting games. That's literally, like, I joke about this all the time, but at some point in the future, if you've ever played BBTAG, you're going to play a fighting game where every character you meet.
No, I'm not.
Every character is going to have that, like, very minor differences in, like, rekkas or projectiles, but it will be fair and it will be aggressive, and that's what will appeal to the casual audience.
Well, that's what they think appeals to the casual.
Look at Marvel 3. Everyone loves Marvel 3 and Marvel 2, and they're the most broken, busted, top-tier shit ever.
I can tell you right now,
Marvel 2 and Marvel 3.
As somebody that played that game competitively for years, Marvel players love that game because we didn't really have anything else.
But I'm not talking about Marvel players. I'm talking about the casuals that just watched the stream and mashed a little bit of buttons. They love Marvel.
So, on the original subject that we were talking about, I think Tokon's going to be a $70 game. Because
absolutely
the IP alone and the fact that it's exclusive to PS5 and PC, that like it would not make it, like, from a business perspective, you want to make the most amount of money, so $70 first party game, and it gives Sony an opportunity to lock down the tag market, something they've never been able to do because they've only ever really gotten control of Street Fighter, and until recently anime with Strive. Now they can get into the tag market as well.
Yeah, I fully agree. It's a first-party Sony game. It's gonna be $70 for sure.
So he's just trying to get a monopoly on fighting games.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty
They won't
much.
ever have- the only one they won't ever have is Mortal Kombat. Like, actually, is the
That's
one.
because that Boone's the go.
For now. Who knows?
No, it's
Sony
banned
might buy
in
Warner
Japan.
Brothers.
It's banned in Japan. So are they gonna make it if it's banned?
Ooh, checkmate.
Alright, so back to the pricing stuff just here. So, like, me and Mobius were, characters and things like that, and basically characters are becoming more simple, so that's just easier to understand what they do and how to play them, so that when you look at them, you know what they're about and how to access their whole move kit just by doing a few minutes of practice. And, like, I understand why, fighting game developers do this. They just want to make it easier for people to get into, especially when you look at it, you're like, oh, I can do that too. Same time, it just kind of removes uniqueness from characters and takes out a lot of that these games can have.
I actually agree with this, dude. The characters, like, simplifying characters is just not working. We need to stop doing it.
Dude, we wouldn't get the Dante in modern age. There would never be a character with that many moves.
Okay, to be fair, he's kind of in a but yeah.
I believe you could have a Dante in a modern age, but you wouldn't have the execution related to a character like that. They would be simplified in a way that they would still have access to all their moves, but the execution to access those moves would be easier, so more people could play them. That's if they were to make a modern Dante, that's probably what they would do.
That makes me so sad. I feel like part of Dante's trademark was the hard combos, and then
But see, that's
you go to
that's
MVCI, and that's exactly what they did.
That's a part of the character's trait, though. You want, it makes sense for a hard execution character to, have access to, really good tools. That's just character design 101. What sucks about these modern fighting games is the mechanics. They all force you to do the same thing, so everybody kind of plays the same.
Yeah, like, everyone had, different... But at the end of the day, you're kind of just doing the basic play and,
Yeah. That's my biggest...
For sure, some other people have better pokes, but at the end of the day, you're doing the same thing.
We still haven't really, I feel like we haven't seen a character that really locks down anything in a long time. Look at MK9 Johnny Cage compared to, MK1 Johnny Cage. If you watch competitively, that motherfucker was broken in MK9. Granted, that was a broken game, but, his pressure was so... For a long time, yeah, but his pressure was so good that, you were blocking for, possibly 30 seconds sometimes. It felt like people were just blocking him for 30 seconds if you had the bar and the resources to do it. Even in MK1, it was never that bad for how broken he was, but he was just so good at everything. That's what made him that broken, because he was just good at everything, plus he had the rush down on top of it.
Well, that's the thing, though, because they want to make characters so in a lot of ways, because sure to be a pretty simple characters so that everyone can feel like they can get their turn back in around the same time as characters. They don't want characters to be too strong in an area or people can complain. They just want to simplify things, make it so that people don't really have much to complain and it's easier to get into.
Balancing the tug of war and people taking their turns back naturally or forcefully.
I never really had a problem with simplifying characters, especially in tag games. That's the point. You have access to assists and think a game like Marvel 3, right? OTG assists, X Factor, TAC, snapback, proximity grabs, all these mechanics built into the game. They're and you want them to play like they do in Street Fighter 4? You're crazy. Nobody would want to play this game.
Well, people used to complain about that with BBTAG. You know, oh, they don't play like exactly how they did in Blaze Blue or Under Night, so it's bad. Like, no, it's a tag game.
That's the point. You're supposed to active switch. You're supposed to use your assists. That's why the combos are simplified. It's so you can extend them with other crap. I don't know.
I don't have necessarily a problem with that. I have a problem with lack of character expression nowadays.
Yeah, that's pretty much my point too.
It's even though these characters in BBTAG are simplified, I've seen people play Adachi so many different ways. I can look at Taco's Adachi and Sykes' Adachi and can tell which one's playing which, even if I don't have a player tag next to it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the point we're talking about too. How, because Rocco also brought up the point earlier too. How characters like they're meant to do the same thing, so like you can't really differentiate who's playing who because you're meant to play the character the one way. So it's hard to really play the way you want to play that character.
In the defense of Adachi, he's a pretty universal character. Like he's amazing zoner, amazing lockdown. You could play him as a setup character. But, like, give an example to a character like Yumi. Me and, like, every other Yumi player, we put each other right next to each other. We're all doing the same exact thing. We ever try to do something different, we're going to lose. And it's
okay. Yeah, but then we're going to see the character, like, good.
Oh, well, I mean, basically, I'm just afraid that, like, we're going to see more characters like that in the future in fighting games. And I'm not looking forward to it. I really
that's kind of
Yumi in Tokon.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was just going for because like the more you simplify characters, the more just like boring and homogenous they mostly get. Where, like Sal said, you know, character structure is not gonna be much together. They're gonna play Ragna a very different way. Like you compare like Master Chief's Ragna to like how either me or like say Monkey 4012's Ragna, they're gonna play very differently.
That's just based on, like, good game design. I feel like, even in, like, a game like Strife, if you were to have two Gold Lewis players play against each other, you can tell, like, you know, little minor things, like, this player likes to zone more, this player likes to get in their face more, like... And that's just, like, good character design overall, when they have something like that. It's just, it's getting harder and harder to find. Like, you really gotta pay attention to be like, okay, they're slightly different.
Well, let's use some tag games as examples. So, 2XKO is the easiest example because I'm pretty sure here played the Alpha Labs and can attest their experiences. Pretty much, yeah.
I was about to say the only one I didn't play Alpha Lab 2, so I can't comment on that version of the game. Which I heard was the inferior version anyways.
It absolutely was, but you know, let's get into that.
What's so inferior about it?
It's kind of hard to explain the feel of the game. Well, and actually, I'm pretty sure there are technical issues too. Like the actual feel of the game, like it felt different and it didn't feel good. Then again, I also wasn't a fan of how the game played in Alpha Lab either, but I was more optimistic back then.
But even in Alpha Lab 1, I saw people playing characters differently. In my opinion, at least. There was only like a few characters that I saw played the same. Like, Yasuo was like one of those characters in Alpha Lab 1 where I felt like, okay, I've played against Yasuo, I've played against all of them. They all play the same.
I don't know, I feel like...
They'll stab it, and then they'll get the beam assist.
I was
going to
say Yasuo, bro. And it's because that's what all the
when I
streamers
see
were
characters
playing.
like Ari and Echo,
Every big streamer was playing Echo and Yasuo.
Yeah, but I feel like Echo was the only one people were actually trying to play differently. Because I feel like everyone else played the other characters exactly the same too, except maybe Ari.
That's where I was saying, like, Ari, I saw people playing just online completely different. I think it was mostly, like, just Yasuo and fucking Alawi that were playing the same. Braum, I saw people play, like, extremely different, too. No, now that I think about it, Darius.
I remember fighting Alawi. I remember being the Alawi, but I don't remember fighting Alawi.
Like, because I've seen Braum slowly try to rush me down and grapple me and shit, but I've also seen Braum stay perfectly fine playing full screen, holding up their shield, just trying to piss you off as much as possible, saying, come hit me. And I think that playstyle is way better, but hey, It's whatever how you want to play. And it's the one play style I really didn't see as much of. Is the put up the shield, say, come here, come hit me.
I think a big problem with 2xKO in general, pretty much everyone's been saying it, but I'll just say it again. It's just, it doesn't feel like it's lacking identity. It's going through an identity crisis because nothing really you got. It just feels really. What I mean, or even a 3v3 fighter. It doesn't really have anything out having character and the ability to play. Then that could be kind of bad.
I can get what you're saying, definitely. I don't know if anyone else has opinions on this or who hasn't played it here or who has. I know, like I said, I know 3 of us have. I don't
I
think Rob has
absolutely
yet.
agree with Taco, dude. It doesn't have any personality. Like it feels like it's trying to be for everyone instead of for tag people. Which in Alpha Lab 1, it kind of felt like that a little bit because of how long some of the combos were and what you could do. But the more that I look that they take away, it's like, damn, are they even really trying to be a tag game?
It never really looked like a tag game to me. I always got like Street Fighter X Tekken vibes from it.
I feel that.
I can see that.
Like
Which,
the
I guess
game.
that's technically a tag game. No, I think about it. I apologize. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I know what you're trying to say. So for 2xKO, like it's gonna be subjective for everyone. Experience, but for me, game doesn't have that hook compared to like other tag games. Like it's just a 2v2 fighter, and like at least in my experience, like the way the game bent jumping and like going to your combos, it just feels kind of. Again, it's one of the things that's hard to describe, but you can feel it. And it's just something that I didn't really like. And also, just like the change to the assist pulses, like them changing so much in time kind of makes me think that they didn't really have a super clear vision of what they wanted to do. And they're more so waiting on what other people were going to say about the game before they really hammered down what they were going to do. I obviously don't have anything definitive to support that, but that's just how it feels, and I think I'm pretty sure other people feel that way too.
I mean, like, if you want to put evidence, it's literally what you said with Alpha Lab 1, with Alpha Lab 2. People were complaining about how they were just dying to click in Alpha Lab 1. How there's just too much offense in the game, which a tag game is usually like that. There's usually a crazy amount of offense in like any tag game.
Fighters.
Yeah, look at fighters. Like look at BBTAG. You can't tell me that isn't an aggressive ass game.
For sure.
Even Marvel to an extent, except for like a few characters. I think Mobius, would you agree on that? For the most part, it's a really aggressive game.
Marvel 2?
Marvel 3. I'm not talking Marvel 3.
It's hit or miss.
It
Marvel
depends
3,
on the team.
It's a weird sort of like, it's like airborne neutral. Like it's about like trying to get the opportunity to get in, and then once you get in, you just go ham. So like I would say technically it is aggressive, but like it's your definition of aggressive. Some characters want you to go to you, and then some characters want to go to your opponent. So yeah,
what I mean by aggressive, I should clarify that, is like overwhelming. These games are supposed to make you feel overwhelmed.
Oh yeah, they're bullshit.
Like,
for sure.
Yeah, you like that's part of the fun though. You know you're like whatever
have you
you
played
say.
against a good Magneto in Marvel 2?
I've fought him.
This shit,
man. I've gone
this
through the
shit
trenches.
feels overwhelming as fuck.
But that's the point. Like
You're
people love that
supposed
broken
to feel
shit.
like, damn, this is bullshit, but that was fun, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of my favorite things that I love about BBTAG in particular is that every character has something stupid about them. Even if it's, like, overlooked. Like, you can even look at, like, a character like Platinum or Makoto or, like, Labras and like, look at something like Chain Knuckle. And I swear, I don't care how good your character is, you have at one point or another gotten hit by Chain Knuckle. Forgot that that's a thing. So, I love it when every character has something cool about them. That's just good character design.
I mean, that's what you're supposed to have, something special about them that not many other characters can replicate. Then that in a match is always that's where a lot of comes from. Their unique tool, playing who you like and stuff. Even if they're here, they still got phrases done. That's why we have tier hero.
I feel like part of it is like the Twitter age where people just want to complain about everything.
Yeah, drama farming.
Twitter is the greatest thing I've ever done.
You're a damn liar.
I wish developers would just stop listening to Twitter and just make characters because it honestly feels like most fighting games is what I'm calling the MK11 problem, where every character just kind of feels the same. They want to play if you don't remember the MK11 days when that game was coming out, the whole meme was, oh, this character is a neutral-based footsie character. Literally in every single time they were describing a character. Oh,
I remember that shit.
Do you remember when everybody was
character?
complaining about Scorpion's teleport being a mid, so they changed it to a high?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Wasn't it going to be safe?
I don't remember.
You have to understand this from the fighting game developer's perspective. You want to be able to roll out patches so something new and fresh comes to the game all the time. But you also have to simplify it in a way that anybody can play this game, but it's also tough enough that somebody can go into it and play it normally.
Yeah, but it's
like fighting games where just nobody's happy. I look at the Strive players, they're not happy. I look at the MK players, they're dead in the water. I look at the Street Fighter 6 players, and they're just over there dry rushing.
All right, all right. So here's my hot take. All right, so Strive players tend to forget that they're anime players. We have never gotten shit in our life. We have been stuck in the bathroom for every major since the beginning. So when you suddenly got popularity, it didn't necessarily mean that all the stuff that we have been known for in the past was just suddenly gonna go away.
Thank you.
Yep, literally. The track community has been taken over by people that are more newer and also that have a different appreciation year than people previously did. Now, obviously, there's tons of year players that still Strive and so objectively, it's a bad game. People are just very vocal about the issues with the game. Does it make the game bad? No, it just makes it easy to talk about it.
It's a popular game. And when the game is popular, people complain about it more. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
Don't forget your roots.
That's what I mean, bro. Sometimes the developers just need to stop listening. Don't listen to them. Sometimes when they nerf a character, it's no, don't get rid of that. Make it a little bit less oppressive, maybe, but don't completely get rid of it. Make it still somewhat work.
Yeah, but that's just a classic problem. They try to appeal to everyone. Everyone it gets appealed to. No one is happy because it actually doesn't appeal to anyone at that point. They want to appeal to casuals, but then the competitive scene, feels crap. But appealing too much to the competitive makes casuals feel like it's too hard. You're not gonna be able to satisfy everyone.
You know what? I think they're actually doing a pretty good job with this Tokon game, though.
I agree, but I wanted to wait for that until the game came out.
I'm still at I think for me with Tokon, it all depends on the roster. But this is just me being a Marvel fan in general. I've been starving on fucking the characters I've been wanting for years, and it sounds like I'm not even gonna get the characters I really want anyway. So who cares?
What do you mean, Storm's
Storm? Yeah, Storm.
You said you wanted more mutants. We're getting mutants.
We got one so far.
We're gonna get more. We're gonna get more. They're not just gonna put Storm and not put in Cyclops to go.
They will not look at Marvel Rivals.
Cyclops.
Give it time. If we got Jean, we could get him.
Probably Cyclops hasn't been in a video game playable since X-Men Legends 2.
That's
sad.
Like that. All right, Cyclops should be playable in every goddamn game that's Marvel.
I 100% agree with that.
That would be nice, but it hasn't always been easy to put Cyclops in the decade.
Yeah.
And let's put it like this. X-Men Legends 2 came out in 2004. So it's been over 20 years. He's been playable.
Unless you want to count the Marvel version.
But it's been 20 years.
Dude, don't worry. Cyclops is going to Tokon. I'm calling it now.
What?
Especially like a game like Marvel Rivals where Cyclops would actually shine in. He's still not in it.
You have to keep in mind, this is not Marvel 4. Like, this is Marvel vs. Capcom 4. This is like a brand new Marvel project. All the characters that are going to be in this game are not going to play like the versions that we're used to. There's
Yeah,
not going to be any quick dive. There's not going to be any disruptors. There's not going to be any of the stuff that we are used to. And
I mean,
honestly,
they are paying homages to the old Marvel. So
I'm
Hold
looking
on,
forward to
everyone's
it.
talking over each other.
Give them time. It'll pan out.
I was just gonna say that they are paying homage to the older designs too. For example, Doctor Doom, he doesn't have missiles anymore, but he has this new laser that acts similar to lockdown, so stuff like that. But besides that, they already told us like from the beginning that they want to include characters that have not been in other fighting game projects before. So we're going to see a bunch of new characters alongside some returning ones, which I'm actually excited for. And because we can get, again, it's not just new faces, but it's also them show and putting good faith in that they want to be a different fighting game than previous Marvel games, which I'm glad for. It shows they have a vision for what.
If they don't put in the Fantastic Four, I'm going to be so mad.
They're definitely putting in the Fantastic Four. It's a 4v4. Why would they not put the Fantastic Four? It wouldn't make
Why should put the Fantastic Four deals?
Miss Marvel's already in the game.
Like, why would they not?
Why would
like,
you put
it
in
just,
Reed when you already have a stretchy person?
Because he can be a different stretchy person.
See?
Yeah, Kamala's
Definitely not
winning.
Fantastic Four.
I hope they do come. I do.
I mean, Reed Richards, not just stretchy man. He's the smartest guy
I
in the
know, he's the most intelligent person in the world.
He's up there.
He'd also turn his hand into a mallet.
I mean, Miss Marvel kind of can do that too, but I know what you mean.
This is cool. Cool ability.
Yeah, but no one likes Miss Marvel. That's the difference.
That's why they put her in immediately, so they can get her out the way.
Disney coming in, bro. They're like, you gotta put her in. You gotta put her in. That's one of those characters. I didn't feel like Disney was like, yep, you gotta put this character in.
Hey, Tokon, industry plant.
Yeah, see, that's the. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I will say this. This is probably the coolest Doom has ever looked, gameplay wise and everything in a Marvel game. In my opinion, like, because after
I
watching the Evo
absolutely agree.
stuff, Doom actually looks sick.
Nah, they did Doom justice. I will.
He looks really appeasing.
That isn't Power Ranger Doom from Fan Four Stick. That is Doctor Doom.
I'm not even just talking about design. I was talking about like gameplay and everything. He looks so cool. Well, go ahead, Mobius. What were you gonna say?
Oh yeah, I mean, like that's the number one thing I'm looking forward to is like the new designs. Like I'm just like, oh, like what if they do put like Punisher in the game? I wonder how he's gonna play because this is an Arc System game, not a Capcom game. So
We don't need another half of chaos. No.
Bro,
Hell
if
to
they
the
put in
no.
another goddamn gun person and it's not Moon Knight, I'm gonna crash the fuck out.
see, you're thinking like this is a combination of multiple. They're putting stuff from like multiple Arc Systems games. So like for all I know, they could be putting like a plus R like style character or a Persona 4 character or something.
No, it's literally an amalgamation of Arc System projects from the different years. There's BlazBlue stuff in it. There's even. They're just doing everything they've done before to try to make like the game that encompasses what Arc System.
I hate to admit it, but this is the closest we're getting to BBTAG 2. So
Pretty much, it looks really like I'm cautiously optimistic. It looks really good. I can't wait for that beta. Well, no, it's a closed beta, but yeah, I'm excited for it.
I'm excited to see more. That's what I'm excited. I can't wait to see the actual high level gameplay of it. There's still things I don't like. I don't like how you don't start off with your full team from the start. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like that at all. But
Look,
that's just,
Yeah, I can understand because that's kind of a turn off for me.
yeah, like there's two things. It's a,
it also to me looks like more of a 1v1 game than it does a tag game. And I know everyone's been saying it, and like just by watching it, you can tell. they're telling people like, yeah, don't expect normal like a normal tag game. It's gonna play completely like it's gonna play more like Strive than it is Fighters. But
No.
I think I'm legitimately in a solo main cap.
I saw some gameplay of people using the active switch. One of the things I noticed is that there's a bit of a delay. So, have you guys played Smash Ultimate? You guys know Pokemon Trainer, right? How, like, when you switch between Pokemon,
Yeah.
it has a little bit of a delay. So
Yeah.
the active switch kind of works like that in this game. And I think that's kind of cool, because one of the most busted things in tag was being able to automatically switch while a move was going on, so that way you create an unblockable situation. This prevents situations like that from happening.
I mean, yeah, that's the point. That's what they want. They want to make it so that tagging, doesn't make a really hard mix-up. It's just you tag out and continue an offense. Which, yeah, I understand why they do it. But as someone that likes the mix-up bullshit, it does suck. But yes, it does appeal to a lot more people and make it easier to play, for sure.
No, here's the thing: is I think there still is going to be mix-up bullshit. You just have to like time it differently. I think the reason why we see the game like the way that we're seeing it now is just the same problem that Vanilla Marvel had. People just haven't figured out how to play it correctly yet.
well, obviously, dude, they only had like an hour to play it, so no one's we haven't seen anything yet. Technically, we can judge that like this is like the basics. So like, okay, we can kind of understand how to play it, but like. It's still. My bad. Go ahead.
No, my confidence of Jay Wong being able to break a game in an hour is very high. So,
That's good.
All right.
But I am looking forward to it. There looks like a lot of tech that we're just like missing out on. And this is only with 4 characters too, or like 5. Like I can't imagine. This is a 4v4. There better be at least like 40 characters in the game.
There's going to be 20.
We already have leaks to show that there's a lot of character slots, but we don't know just how many are actually going to be in the base roster.
Base roster, I think it's only going to be 20. It's Arxis, bro.
I agree. I think it's going to be about 20-ish.
It's going to be like 20.
That's sad, bro, for a 4v4. To be honest, it's gotta be.
They also said they started. They plan on supporting this game for like 10 years. So yeah, it's not gonna be.
Eventually, it's going to get to there, but it's not going to start like that because everything has to be KI now.
I mean, Marvel is also just trying to have their cake and eat it too with the way the game plays. Because, like what Sal said earlier, it's a 1v1 game, but they're doing it. Because they want to be able to create some more simple movesets and only the same assist for characters, so that way they're able to. If they're going to be supporting 10 characters, they're also wanting to make a system and mechanics that are easy for them to transfer characters over to. So everyone's going to have shooter have assist, and everyone's going to have like a decently small set, which makes sense though. Like, you understand why they're doing it. It's all up to the execution and whether or not it feels like there's enough depth and freedom for people to play the.
I feel like I have to bring this up because it happened to HunterxHunter. But what if all these games come out with bad netcode?
I'm trying not to think about that.
Like netcode, we've been through this ever since the Corona back in 2020. Like, we all need good netcode for the fighting. The reason, one of the biggest contributors to Strive being so popular was because it was the biggest game with rollback netcode at the time, so everyone play from home and shit. Nowadays it is a requirement for you to good netcode, otherwise your shit's gonna be forgotten like HunterxHunter. HunterxHunter has other problems, but netcode was like the biggest thing.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like, for this age since COVID, that set the standard for others by design, even though they have to do it in their own way.
Like, from what I played from 2XKO, at least the first alpha I played, honestly the netcode felt good. The net felt there. I was barely ever lagging. It was great. But we're gonna see with the token beta less than a month now, because when does it? It starts literally right before 2XKO's beta comes out. Like, literally, it ends the day before.
I think it's the 6th through the 8th.
Yeah.
There's another beta.
Is the Tokon, yeah.
Oh, okay.
See, I want to say I have confidence because Arxis, but Arxis also hasn't had the best history in terms of the last decade.
Strive was a bit of an experiment for them. I think they, over the course of the time that Strive has been around, they've kind of learned their lesson about like what works and what doesn't.
I would agree with you, but they still have a lot of netcode issues today, and not even and also just like being hacked. But that's a different matter. But yeah, hopefully they'll be able to get it together for Tokon. They also have Sony backing them up too, so they'll also probably be attentive to stuff like that in 2026.
Yeah, I'm gonna be really disappointed if it's not like I know it's gonna be 20. That makes sense, right? But like, why? Why is it that every tag fighter is so afraid to just have a big roster nowadays? Like, you're already simplifying the hell out of the characters. What's stopping you from just adding more?
I mean, one is probably just like development cost roster. You got to be spending a lot of money for it.
No, I mean, yeah. Look, I know. I'm just like, I've been spoiled because like, you look at Marvel 3 from when I was like younger, and since that day, I've been trying to find a true sequel to Marvel 3. BBTAG got really close for me, but I'm hoping
got
that
MVCI.
I'm hoping that Tokon will be that actual game that I've been waiting for.
I mean, the original Marvel 3 had 36 characters, you know, and like and Ultimate added 12. For Tokon, you can see like 20.
Hey man, as long as the game's good.
I mean, at the end of the day, say so. The community cautious at this point.
I kind of do agree with Mobius here how half the roster has to be DLC nowadays. I think that's stupid. Like,
That's
It's
why
not even that, dude. It's what's driving fighting games price to be like $200. Like they think about how much like COD people are spending. They spend like $60 a year. I'm spending fucking $300 on one fighting game for frickin' 3 season passes and whatever the fuck.
Haven't taken a
Like, I mean, that's why they want money, development
like, look at
costs.
Street Fighter season
Yeah,
pass,
Street
bro,
Fighter's
like,
$30.
it's $30 for 4 characters. That's insane. That's actually insane.
Because they'll know we'll pay for it. That's why they do it. They know people gonna. They know the DLC character, not just against and have knowledge and all that. And it becomes a necessity for the fighting player to buy into the DLC. They know it's gonna drive sales.
Yeah, truth of the matter, even like without them even announcing it, we already know that a season pass or 2 is already in the works. It's fighting games. You have a time limit from when you buy that fighting game to learn it and buy everything as quick as possible before your game dies to be replaced with something else made by the same company.
There's no more surprises in because it's been done so long that everyone knows it's just been if you've been in the community long enough. At this point, it's just all about figuring out the game and what to do when it comes out.
And people are so easy. I apologize. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I honestly think all fighting games should go the 2xKO route and just make the game free at this point, and have people just pay for the characters, or like decide to pay for the characters or whatever, because it's ridiculous. Like the amount of content we're getting, have us just pay for skins and characters.
I mean, Warner Bros. Couldn't lose any more money. They might as well do it with okay.
The number one thing that they should get rid of, honest to God, like truthfully, like everybody unanimously would just be happier if they just did this, but give us our own goddamn servers. I don't want to pay for PlayStation Plus anymore.
See, we all love that, but that's just never gonna happen because the console, like Nintendo, Xbox, Sony, like they want a cut for using their online services. be free because it has to be free.
Yeah.
No matter what, the companies want their cut. It all comes down to money.
One could dream.
That's the best thing about playing on PC sometimes is I don't have to deal with that shit. When everything's crossplay, you don't gotta buy PlayStation Plus.
Facts.
Facts.
See, that's another thing. Crossplay and rollback netcode. Rollback netcode is now the standard, but I feel like crossplay still isn't exactly a standard yet, and it should be. We need to enforce that shit because some companies are at a launch. Yeah, it can come later, but at that point, it feels like it's.
The big three all have crossplay, don't they?
They do.
Mortal Kombat
Wait, the
takes
second?
time.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Mortal Kombat took a while. Let's not get into that.
Yeah.
Like, as
I'm just
crossplay,
saying.
right?
You know, I'm saying at launch, MK didn't have. It felt
That's
too
a
late.
different discussion for a different day.
Fair.
So, and another thing, going back to the free to play stuff, I agree with. I feel like 2XKO, that could lead to a success is kind of. That's one thing it has going for it, and why it can appeal. A lot of people can actually try it, and it can appeal to people. It's free, so harm in trying it, and because it's free, you can use it to push for characters, more skins, things like that. But at the same time, you need to be a pretty rich company to be able to do that, because that's also a big risk and investment for these companies.
I wonder what's going to happen to all the League players that buy their skins and then get kicked in by fighting game players, and then like they realize, oh no, this game is not meant for this.
They're gonna play League.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's exactly what happened.
Well, at the end of the day, that all comes down to like matchmaking. Just put like, I'm still one of those people who think skill-based matchmaking is stupid in fighting games, but if we're not talking specifically ranked, like if I go into a casual match, I don't want skill-based matchmaking because let's say I'm trying out a different character. I don't want to go against the people who I'm usually going against when I'm playing my main team because I'm just going to get my ass kicked. Like, it's not going to be fun for either of us. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not going to... These people are weird, bro. I don't know what it is with people online with casuals, but they'll treat this shit like ranked, too.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that? Like, I know this is like
Yeah.
an off-topic thing,
Casuals become sweaty and then.
but like...
Okay, well, casuals.
like most, I was about to say, mostly in Mortal Kombat, when I'm playing a casual match, bro, I'll see people playing their main, and then just start talking shit to me while I'm playing fucking, like, my third character. And I'm like, all right, let's go. Let's go then. And I'll play, like, Baraka or something, one of my secondaries, whoop their ass, bro, and they start talking, and then they get mad and leave. Like, this is, like, literally the fighting game community. I'm like, come on, bro.
Okay, well, outside of COD, that's just because people, no matter what, win and feel good. So even in a casual setting, it's gonna be that way. It's just that some are more vocal than others.
My personal opinion, the reason
Sure,
why
like I said, that was... My bad, Mobius, go ahead.
my personal opinion, the reason I've had this discussion with a couple friends, but again, this is just personal opinion. The reason why fighting games aren't popular is, I think it's a psychological thing. I think people just don't like admitting that they're at a loss. That's why team games are more popular, because if something were to happen, you can like shift the blame towards somebody else, or you can shift the blame toward the game or something like that. But in a lot of cases in fighting games, if you were to make a mistake, a lot of cases it was you. You made that mistake, and it's hard to admit.
I mean, yeah, Core Gaming said this years ago. It's all about ego. Team games protect ego. In a 1v1 game, it's all on you, so you actually have to admit that you sucked and you have to improve, which a lot of people, especially now, don't want to do. They don't want to go through the process of admitting their work and have to put in more work. Especially as people already have stressful lives, and a lot of people just want to get into the game and play the game and not have too hard for the playing a video game.
There's nothing wrong with wanting to enjoy something casually. Where it becomes a problem is when people start talking shit. That
Pretty
is,
much.
Yeah, you don't. I don't think you difficult fighting games are I mean, yes, technically this is a hobby, but like I have put more work into fighting games than I did my college career. Like,
Damn.
I will say this, like, going back on topic with the new tag games, I love how 2XKO is allowing us to play with friends on the same team, like we each control a character. I know not everyone loves this, but personally I do.
That should have been.
I think, honestly, every tag game should do this, but I might be on the unpopular opinion of that, because I don't think there's no harm in doing it. If you don't like it, you don't gotta play it. You don't have to play it.
That can make it super fun. Because fighters did that shit with 3v3 arenas.
yeah, that's that Street Fighter X Tekken stuff I was talking about.
That too, yeah.
Real ones know that Mortal Kombat 9 did that shit way back then, and everyone.
And you know that I wouldn't be surprised that nostalgia
everyone
was
did.
an engine.
Either love or hate it, depend on how you played it.
Yeah, like it's definitely that. And going back to what I said, and I did kind of brush the topic playing with, but that is one thing that can help the game. I will because one, it protects you being able to be with the friend, but it's also more fun and discuss while playing the game, and the feeling of two players being able to do and going with each other, their plan and executing something feel good for people. And even if they lose, well, they can just talk shit to their friend afterward and feel a bit better compared to having to hold all that, that rage and just you're gonna have.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, like, for me personally, like, in real life, I'm better at fighting games than 90% of my friends. And if we're playing 2XKO and we're playing together, if he decides to blame me for the fucking game, I don't care. At the end of the day, I know I'm better than him, for the most part. Like, as long as it makes him having a better time on the game and actually wants him to, like, makes him want to play it more, that's all I care about. Like, I just want the games to do good.
There's a misunderstanding when you're actually, like, kind of good at fighting games that even sometimes, like, you don't always want to go hard. Like, you don't always want to play sweaty. Sometimes you just want to play for fun.
Sometimes you want to just random super and bullshit.
Yeah, honestly. And it's difficult because some people will, like, get offended by that, thinking that you're like bullshitting and stuff like that. But then like, people get mad over anything anyway.
I mean, thing is, like, everyone's gonna. Here's the thing: people will say that, but like, there's tons of content and videos of playing quote unquote dumb, like they do like the same thing over and over again. Play kind of dumb or goofy and have a lot of fun. You can play a fighting game extremely not to sweat, and a lot of people are kind of losing understanding of that. Fighting games are hard, they're difficult, but you don't always have to be a sweat to enjoy the fighting game.
I think Maximilian dude said it best. Sometimes I just want to press buttons and see cool shit happen.
Facts. Yeah, he's 100% right about people. At the end of the day, that's what people want. Simple way of putting it, it's correct.
And it's unintentional too sometimes. Like, I'm just playing the game the way the game is meant to be played. Like, I'm not really, like, doing any, like, exotic, stupid, like, untechable, unblockable, like, unreachable thing. I'm just playing the game normally. I just want to have fun, and I'm sorry if I played a little too hard, I guess. It's not the intent. I don't think people mean that as the intention. Like, games, especially tag fighters, they're super intimidating. If you don't know, you're gonna get mopped. But it's okay. We all started from there. And we want to help people.
Oh yeah, if there's anything, tag games always have a very proactive community that are usually willing to, like, put forth their time to give resources, help people out. If there's any communities that really knowledgeable and love helping out their games, it's got to be tag fighting.
Yeah, they're like when you get into those like kind of games, it's kind of like it's like meeting up with boxers. Every single boxer has gotten punched in the face. It sucks. Nobody wants to get punched in the face, but you got to get punched in the face to learn to not. That's tag
We're not a
fighters in a
boxer,
nutshell.
huh?
That's
I always say, bro, people who say that they can whoop everyone's ass, but the people who haven't been in a fight don't really know what it means, bro. If you've
Yeah.
never been punched, it's completely different when you actually get punched.
Yeah, nobody actually wants to get punched.
Well, that's the thing we're talking about, like.
No,
But that's the reason why Arceus wants to get to that point, getting into the game, point of being able to game us faster.
Marvel Tokon's gonna be a good game to get a lot of new people into it. It's simplified, but not too simplified. It's got a great IP to start with, and it looks really cool.
I agree.
Letter, you're
really, really
describing Invincible to me. Great
I was about to
IP,
say-
beginner friendly. A lot of cool characters like Battle Beast and Rexplode.
I definitely think Invincible also is definitely. It's gonna be Tokon and towards KO. It depends on what comes out. That could also.
Honestly,
Yeah,
I
those are
think
gonna be our big
Invincible
three.
just came out, like, got it out at the wrong time, bro. It literally, it's like the wrong. It just it's coming out at the wrong time.
Wrong time.
I agree.
It's kind of like a BBTAG situation right now, in my opinion, where BBTAG's a good game. Most people who I've met played BBTAG like BBTAG, even casually. They like playing the game, and that's what I feel like Invincible is going to be, because it doesn't look as polished, it doesn't look as pretty.
If they put
You
Spawn
can
in
tell
the
this
game,
game's on a budget.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. BBTAG at launch was garbage. I
It was.
even made fun of it. That's why I played Dragon Ball Fighters, and then GT Goku came out and it flipped.
Yeah. Look,
oh, GT.
but that was also the consensus at the time.
So maybe I don't know. I'm hoping that Net Impact and Invincible have that it's like I think they're both gonna have rough like launches, but they're gonna get a moment in the game where it's just like, okay, this game kind of rocks now. Like they just had to like cook.
Well, Nen Impact has decent gameplay. It does still have. And things that they can patch. When it comes to Invincible versus, here's the thing. I think a really smart move was that the Killer Instinct team is working on it, because I think they could also the MK right now because of how MK1's been doing. But Invincible has a good amount of characters that people like, and it's also going to have the gore, casual, and the MK audience. So I think them filling that niche is going to help them a lot.
Do you have anything to say about Invincible? Like, any opinions on it so far?
Any opinions on? Wait, you asking me?
Yeah, like, any opinions so far on it? Like, do you think it's gonna do well, or like, is there anything you're excited for, or
For
along the lines?
2XKO or Nen Impact?
Invincible?
For Invincible,
We haven't
I'm
talked about that until right now.
for Invincible. I like the development aspect they're going for in the type of team structure that it has. I'm curious on what type of story they're trying to bring for that game that either ties into the comics. I'm curious on the type of internal games that they're trying to do that'll add to the returning revenue in terms of like returning gameplay and investment to the game. And that's it. That's honestly that's honestly all I'm really curious for. I wish it nothing but the best.
Is everyone
on launch.
here read Okay.
Same.
So the thing with Invincible is there's a lot of characters that me and Sal would want that haven't showed up yet.
That
Like
is true.
Dinosaurus.
Dinosaurus would be sick.
Thank you, dude. Dinosaurus would be awesome.
Let me look this up. Dinosaurs.
But like, how would they add Dinosaurus when people like Taco and Madia? Oh my fucking god, I can't talk.
I promise
But,
you,
like-
if there's enough of demand for it, they'll put characters in there.
Dinosaurs.
They want to get that money.
This feels like a.
Oh,
Also, they
probably-
use
a killer
also
instinct
DLC
looking
exists.
Season 4.
This
He's,
feels like a.
he's coming in the new season.
This feels like a Killer Instinct looking character. Now that I actually just pulled it up, what Dinosaurs looks like.
Well,
Dude, yeah,
this
he
is
looks
Killer
fucking
Instinct's development team.
Exactly, and they could easily just put DLC out.
But my problem is
But
most
it's like
people aren't
they're
going to
10
know
times
who
bigger.
he is. It's only really comic readers that know who he is right now
That's
until
okay.
the new season comes out.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. If a character looks cool, especially for something like Dinosaurs, people are gonna like it.
They put
Like if a
it
character
in
looks
Dragon
cool
Ball
and does
Fighter.
cool shit, it's
Where's the demand going to be other from the comic fans?
again.
Also
If a
playing
character
the
looks cool and plays cool, people are gonna like the character.
Yeah, it's really
They
that straightforward sometimes.
If I remember correctly, they put Hit in Dragon Ball Fighters before he showed up, like, in the actual show.
Kinda.
I think they did, yeah.
Yeah,
So
kinda.
I could see them doing, like, putting characters from Invincible that are, like, they haven't actually shown up in the show yet, or whatever.
Okay.
Like here's the thing, it's a dinosaur fighting game character. If anyone makes the Killer Instinct team,
That is true. Yeah, I won't lie. Like,
Yeah, that's why I said it. Like, he could sell.
it's not just Dinosaurus, though. There's a lot of characters in Invincible like that.
yeah, but it's just like I said, it's just as and plays cool or unique. People are going to like that or respect that.
For you guys. So
You gotta remember
said
that-
some, like, visual.
These games are designed as, like, selling points. The reason that you use these particular IPs is because you want people to gain interest, to have, like, a reason to, like, come back to these things.
Dude, he's so fucking cool.
So a lot of
Also,
games will use I'll give the example of Marvel 3. If you look at like the roster of Marvel 3, all the Capcom side are games that they were trying to advertise at that era. Resident Evil 5, Bionic Commando, and so on and so forth. There weren't really any like legacy characters as much as there were like newer characters that they were trying to show off. And they do the same thing in like
Yeah.
Smash Bros.
Exactly.
There was like no Captain Commando in Marvel 3 or even Mega Man. Mega Man was missing.
The only legacy characters I can think of is Ryu and Akuma.
There's a couple of them, but not nearly as many as new ones. They really wanted to like even in BBTAG, like they were really trying to push like the Ruby seasons with all the like Astrals and stuff with Neo and everything. Like,
Also, Rock though. What's that one girl's name with the hair, bro? She's in the game. I forgot that character existed. I didn't even know she had a name, and she's in the game. So
I don't know who you're talking about, bro.
I think it's you talk about the girl that uses her hair as a weapon.
yeah, like
Yeah,
who
no,
the fuck is that? Invincible. That character has like no screen time, but she's in the game.
In what game?
Invincible.
Invincible versus.
no, I don't know shit about that series, man. I'll be honest.
That
I mean,
uses
that's
her
cool.
hair?
Trying
Oh,
to
is she the
think.
Viltrumite?
Yeah. My point exactly. You're just figuring it
Dude,
out.
she's the Royal Guard. Are you kidding?
She has
you-
importance to the
wow, you
world,
knew
but doesn't
how
have
it-
importance to the
That's
show.
dude. That's quite clearly Nephro P2, the first DLC character of Hunter x Hunter Net Impact.
I'll play it.
What do you want me to say? I don't know who that is. She was just random bumfuck Viltrumite, and they put her in the game.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to. That's my point, dude. So they're gonna add some weird characters in that game because who else they're gonna put in?
Cool characters.
Spawn.
I mean, they could put it.
Sal,
They could
Spawn.
put in robot. Robot would be cool.
you know what my favorite archetype in fighting games is? Robots. You want to take a guess of which character I'm probably gonna play in Invincible first?
The robot.
Robot.
There you go, brother.
Dude, they
I
should
mean,
put Ultron in
that's
Marvel
so real.
Tokon.
That'd be Tron bots.
I just want Blade in a fighting game.
He's very likely. And again, they want characters that haven't been in a Marvel fighting game yet, so he's definitely likely to be in at some.
Blade and Ultron, let's go.
Let's get back to so feel about certain mechanics, such as simple inputs in Tokon splat, and simple inputs. You have wall splat. You have other things. How do you guys feel?
I think I feel
Alright,
wall split. Oh, go for it.
Go ahead, Rod. You can talk first. It's fine. I'll save mine for later. Because
I feel simple
I
inputs
know not everyone.
can be fine if they're trying to introduce input variations where how Street Fighter did it, where you have a set system on one side for easier input notations, and then you have just classic based. If they did more of that style for more games going forward, I think that would do good to appease both types of players, for an older thinking and newer thinking. Wall splat, I don't like that mechanic too much for some games. I think it could kind of be made either like a selective thing for some games, or it could just be phased out entirely. Because it just adds
What
to
about you,
the
Mobius?
simplicity of just getting to the corner and then GG's.
Mobius, how do you feel?
Which mechanic in particular, or just
Wall splats, simple inputs.
okay, so you know, man, you always gotta tell people my opinion, because there's always somebody. There's gotta be somebody that's gonna take it seriously, and it's gonna bother me every time that happens. So I always have to put a clause whenever I say anything fighting game related.
It's all okay.
Don't worry, man. We all got.
Dude, everyone's allowed to have their own opinion.
Alright, whatever. I don't even know if this is a hot take or not, but y'all remember when they had this thing where they got rid of DP inputs and they tried to replace them with down inputs. Y'all remember that? I don't know if you ever tried to do that or not.
I remember that, yeah, and it was.
Yeah. Do you remember that being harder than the actual DP inputs?
Yes, it really was.
Damn.
So, I don't think simple inputs are as simple as people make them out to be. I mean, the motion is simple, right? But there's something about a quarter circle where you're almost guaranteed to get the motion if you just do it correctly. I'm worried that you'll be able to press a button while moving forward and just get a special by accident when you're trying to just approach. So I'm really glad that they gave you the option to just do quarter circles instead. That's the number one thing that turned me off from 2XKO.
Yeah, see, I wanted to go into that too, where a bit, because 2XKO still has competitors and even the casual playing it, is that there's special move instead of the actual motion inputs. And the reason why that's a problem is because it puts more buttons on your controller. It gives you less control for macros and other things. It's also more buttons for you to actually have to remember and handle. And that's annoying. It's light, medium, heavy. So you got light, medium, heavy tag button, and then two other special move buttons that each of their thing with different directions. Just annoying. And then there's your macros they got to take advantage of too. Can't take advantage of them, especially depending on the type of controller. And I believe that choice benefit a lot. If they were just you could actually just choose inputs you want, whether it be simple or quarter circles.
It's important that they get this netcode down, because if you're gonna have simple inputs like that, all right. Let's give an example with if there's an actual a bad rollback between two players. You now have an option to double tap forward to run and go into a run animation, and then if you press a button, you'll also get a special move, because that's how the simple inputs are designed. In a game as fast as this game is going to be, there cannot be random hiccups like that. They have to be solid with this netcode, or nobody's going to play this game. It's so important that they nail that. I think that's probably the number one thing they're focusing on, is just making sure that crossplay and that netcode is just solid.
I agree. I also want to talk about wall splats in Tokon. And so I understand why Arxis is putting it in. I don't like it, and the reason why I don't like it is I'm just not a fan of not being able to keep someone in the corner and having to reset to neutral just because I did my then carrying them. I think that's dumb. But another problem I have is that if you're in the corner, also resets to neutral. I am fine of being able to unlock the characters as you go, but I'm not a fan of having to reset. I just find that.
Okay.
I also feel like that, like the wall splats, exactly how like regular wall splats work, because the way the wall splats work in the game, technically through middle section to like the right section, and then you go to the. It doesn't break; it just wall splats. But also a way to limit your combos in the, which I'm also not a fan of.
So there were two things that I noticed when watching gameplay, and I want to actually confirm this with people to see if I was actually accurate with it or not. So the first thing I noticed, did anybody notice that none of the assists got happy birthday?
Yes.
Yeah, it's not a thing anymore. You share just one life.
Right. So yeah, one of the mechanics you were talking about that that bothered you was the fact that you have to wait. Or somebody was mentioning, I don't remember who, but somebody mentioned about like that you start off with one character and then eventually go to like 4.
Yeah.
That kind of makes sense. Yeah, that kind of makes sense in a game like this when like you can't happy birthday and assists. So and you're sharing a health bar, so they're probably expecting matches to just be like extremely explosive. I wonder if that was an intentional design choice. Maybe there's going to be characters we haven't seen that are just going to be absolute powerhouses, and their and the reason why that's in the game is probably because of that.
Well, I was the one who, I honestly, like I said, I don't like it, bro, because I like, if I'm playing a 4v4 game, I want to start off with all my characters, bro. Like, I want to have that. I want to play the 4v4 part. I don't want to play 2v2 or 3v2. I don't care if there's no happy birthday or not. I want to play the game, bro. Like, the game that you advertised for me. You advertised a 4v4 game. Why are we starting off with a 2v2 game?
I think they're doing it because I think for two reasons. One, it's another way to simplify things. Because think about this: 4 characters is daunting for someone that's new or getting into the game. So make it so that you start with 2 makes it easier for people to get used to 2 characters and then build their way up to more characters along the way. I think they just want that to be a natural feeling throughout the games you play, at least in Marble Tokon. At least that's my theory.
But to go back on the point what Taco was talking about, me personally, I honestly like after playing 2XL, I don't mind simple inputs. I don't get the whole big ass complaint about it. I don't think they're as bad as everyone says it is. It's honestly, it's whatever to me. If it has it, it has it. If it doesn't, it doesn't. If I can choose what to do, I'm probably just gonna go with classic because that's the way I played the game growing up. But it's not to me at the end of the day a big deal. I more have a problem with wall splats and what you said. If I feel like, dude, if I put someone in the corner and there's no like strategic advantage for me to play someone out of the corner, why am I being forced to? I earned that. That's part of playing a fighting game. That's part of. It's like telling people. Yeah, it's like telling people if we're playing Marvel Rivals, bro, you win the team fight, but you can't get the point. In a way. You did what you were supposed to do. You won the fight, but you're not getting rewarded for it.
Misconception.
If that makes sense.
There's a misconception with fighting games that people assume that just because the game is simpler means it's easier. It's not. it just changes the game. If you look at like if you were to actually think game theory, right, and you think about a game like chess compared to a game like rock paper scissors, one is extremely simple compared to the other, but both are extremely difficult to master because you and your opponent both have access to the same tools, regardless if it's simplified or not. So that's the hard part when it comes to balancing these games. How do you simplify it where, like, you know, somebody that doesn't know what they're doing can have fun, and somebody that knows what they're doing doesn't break the game?
Pretty much. And like back then, that was a. Go ahead, Sal.
I just feel like that. I was just gonna say, I feel like that's just a problem you can never fix. At the end of the day, people who want to take this game seriously are gonna take it seriously and try to break the game. That's what they want to do. That's what they're gonna do. It's a problem that's occurred from the beginning of competitive gaming. In the beginning of sports. In basketball, goaltending wasn't a rule until someone got someone who was like 7'3" who would play at the basket and just start jumping up whenever someone would shoot. This was in EMBA. So what they did to counter that was actually it was the Detroit Pistons. Funny enough.
Yep.
This was back then when there wasn't no shot clock either. They would just play keep away the whole time. They would get an early basket and just play keep away and not let them get the ball. So that's why there's a shot clock. You get what I'm saying?
That's an unironic change too, because it actually makes the game a lot more interesting.
No, yeah, I'm not saying it was for the worst. I'm just saying like that's just gonna happen. If you give someone the tools and they really like something, they're gonna find ways to break shit. They're gonna find the most broken, like the easiest way to win, especially if there's a clear winner.
Yeah, that's
people
also
find ways to fucking break platformers like Mario 64. What's it called? Where you do the BLJs. That was never an intended thing. People just found that shit out. You get what I'm saying? That game was never intended to be able to be beat with like 1 or 0 stars, but people found a way.
No matter what, there's going to be the sweats. That's going to be, and right now, fighting games they're asking them, like, either we support, struggle to support both. That's where fighting games are at right now.
They need to stop listening to casuals like me and listen to everybody else.
The problem, reason why, because no matter what, no matter how much we want, and the more casuals a game has, the more and more money that the companies get, which is why they want so bad to try to get an audience of casuals. And the only one that's really been super successful in doing that is a game like Mortal Kombat, but for different reasons than the fighting itself.
Yeah, but even Mortal Kombat's starting to lose that now.
Either doesn't maybe
Well, since
still
we
able
do
to
have a
grasp.
casual. My bad, Rod. Go ahead.
No, what he was saying, no, they were still able to capitalize off of that for the most part of the generation, despite the fall-off points for the other reasons than fighting part.
I think NetherRealms should just make a new IP.
Agreed, but
Injustice 3!
Nah, like try something completely different.
Right.
Like full OCs.
No, please give me
Give me
Injustice 3.
the horror game.
Please.
As much as I co-sign
I'm so tired of Injustice.
As much as I do co-sign Injustice 3, the thing here is like look at what Arxis did in the showcase that they did in the most recent thing that, or whatever that shit was that they did. They took a chance on introducing a new IP, some dragons and something thing, in order to give it life. In the wake of the Twitter doom and gloom on no Guilty Gear update, no Fighters update, no Blaze Blue thing, or Lucy reveal at that time, they just tried to just do something totally new. I don't see why, at that point, they could take a chance for a new IP in the pool like that. That way, it's not an either or of combat or injustice conversation. There could be a third pivot.
Are you talking about DNF Duel? Is that what you're talking about, Rod?
No, that's not an ARC project.
Yeah, I was about to say. So, what game were you talking about?
No, it was a dragon game or something that they had introduced that they showcased at the ARC.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you talking about Damon and Baby? Is that what you're talking about?
I think that's it. Yes.
But yeah. Well, yeah, because all right. So what Rod is the Arxis showcase, and Arxis is making a new IP. That's what Rod was talking about.
Yeah.
Where Daisuke, the creator of Guilty Gear, is making a new game that's not a fighting game for the Arcs. But that's what Arcs is trying to branch into other projects that's not fighting game related, because they don't want to be a pure fighting game company anymore. And they haven't entirely been. They published other stuff besides fighting games, but now they're actually trying to have that as part of the core business where they can actually have other games.
Yeah.
That's a completely different topic, though.
I know, but I'm just saying that just fuels my argument here in case of an IP that a company that can aggressively create a new IP and can afford to do that. You probably got to be in the right position.
Go back on the simple inputs and the wall breaks, because we do have a casual player in here, so I want to get their opinion on that, because that's what it's meant for, right? For the casuals more than it is meant for us. So, Rocco, if you want to say something about it.
I hate it. I actively hate that there isn't an option between motion and simple. Like that's the reason why I want to play Invincible the most, is because it's got motion inputs, and I love doing motion inputs. All right, I do. I love doing my quarter circles, my DPs, and my other shit. I love it. I love doing a fighter's combo where it's actually fucking difficult in the lab. I love booting up the lab on Marvel 3 and just fucking around on Dante. What's the point when what's the point when I can't strain my fingers? I like straining my fingers. That's the whole point. I'm going into the lab. It just, I don't know. Sometimes it feels like it's not the same execution as it was before. Even with 2XKO when we were playing, it felt like everything was a little bit watered down. Like I don't know. It didn't have that same impact as a special move, as a Hadouken, as a Shoryuken. It felt like just another button.
Yeah, that's definitely a point of contention, and I'm pretty sure Mobius was going to bring it up too. But in Marvel Tokon, there is an option. You can choose between the simple inputs or the advanced inputs. You can swap the inputs if you want. It's only 2XKO that has that problem.
Legitimately, as soon as I saw that, that's what got me to get interested in it. I tried to see if I could pre-order it right there and then.
Yeah, a lot of people, Twitter too. Everyone was cheering. Just for the and not.
I'm not excited for Marvel because it's an Arxis game. I didn't really like Strive. I like
you and a lot of people.
But the fact that everyone's saying, "Oh, it's playing like an Arxis game," that immediately turned me off. Immediately, I was like, "Oh, it's another Strive, not another Fighters like I wanted." I wanted this to be Fighters 2. I didn't want it to be Marvel 5. I wanted it to be Fighters 2. And it sounds like it's more going to be of a Strive 2 than it is Dragon Ball FighterZ.
I think it's going to be more Persona, to be honest.
I agree. I think it's going to be Persona and Grand Blue versus.
How did Persona
I'm going to play Persona.
He likes Grand Blue even less than Strive.
If you don't mind, I wanted to mention something related to that wall break. So, in old Marvel games, they had proximity throws. So at the beginning of the game, what you could do is that you could basically move around. And that was a cool concept, but it was broken in Marvel because proximity throws meant that you could just mash the heavy button and press forward and you'll just get a grab. And for some characters, that's death, like right there and then.
Magneto.
They don't have proximity throws in this game. They have an actual button input. So I think it's kind of cool. It actually adds a layer that you can get really creative on how to approach now, and I don't have to like worry about stupid shit like that from the older games. And I noticed that with the wall break too, that they kind of reset their positions. They didn't necessarily Like it wasn't like Strive where it was just like, okay, round's over, we broke the wall, let's get back to the neutral in the middle. Like no, there was actually like you could position, and that's cool.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. In Strive, if you break the wall with a super, don't you get Oki?
Yes, you get a hard knockdown.
Partially, it gets a hard knockdown at round start.
You know
He means
what's
round start.
enough, like for how much I've been shitting on us this podcast. I honestly think Injustice 2 did wall break the best with stage transitions. I guess
like
if you want to call it
Injustice 2.
like
I so agree.
But they were aesthetic. They weren't really
they-
like gameplay related, were
No,
they?
they
Well,
did
with
affect
the
gameplay.
gameplay,
it was part of the
They're a
gameplay.
huge thing. Playing on
Because here's
Gorilla
the thing
City
in
was a
Injustice-
lot different than playing in Metropolis.
because
No,
with
but did it
Injustice 2
actually
where it
like
affects.
do anything? Like affect your health and stuff?
Yeah, it did.
It did.
Oh,
So
I see.
when you're on your second life bar, you get Clash, right? You don't like the most
It's Breaker.
controversial break ever.
Breaker.
Oh, okay, the second most controversial breaker ever is Clash. You know what Clash is, right?
Mm-mm.
So basically, it's combo breaker where you can clash any hit, but what you do is you go into like this betting mode where you can bet your meter to get health back or take away the opponent's health.
Oh, okay.
You get to
I've
gamble
heard of
with the
this.
bar.
So like let's say
When
you
your
have
opponent
4
gets-
bars and your opponent has like 3 bars. If you spend all 4 bars and they spend 0 bars, you'll get like 33% back or taken away, or you take away their health with like 33%. It was a lot. But to help avoid that, you could either do meter burn special moves that were like any meter burn special move was unclashable, or forward 3 or back 3, which was the wall bounces and the ground bounces. Or you could stage transition. So if they're close enough to the corner, you could like do your combo, but you could either keep them in the corner but risk getting clashed, or what you could do is get them out of the corner, but force unclashable or unbreakable damage with the stage transition because you can't clash it. That's what I mean by That's what I mean by like Injustice 2 did it best with it because they like I said, it was actually a big part of the game, but there was a reason to do it, and it was also all up to you. It was a choice. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I gotcha.
And it looked cool.
What kind of?
My bad. Go ahead.
I was gonna say we're kind of losing the plot here. So like, what exactly? What exactly is this comparison between like the Injustice 1 and like Tokon?
Oh, I was just comparing the wall breaks. That's it. Like the wall breaks actually meant something to me in Injustice 2, where like the wall breaks are like once you get your characters in Tokon, what the fuck is the point of wall breaking? Now I'm
Actually,
just seeing it just to see it.
I'm looking at
Hey, I'm
gameplay
just losing.
right now. I think it's like more like a Dragon Ball wall break than an Injustice one. That's really interesting that they're applying it that way. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you're good. It feels a part of the conversation aspect.
I think Fighters does it good too, but that's a different topic.
But the thing is, why I don't like the wall break is because it does 2 things. One, if you're in the center stage and you're knocked to the right stage, it just resets to neutral, and you have to work for that again. Which there are people that would say, "Oh, well, you're just bad at the game if you don't want to do that, and you can't get them back." Like, no, it just because it takes away the reward of getting to them into the corner. You know, the natural thing you're supposed to do in the game. And I'm not entirely sure, but one thing I fear for the wall splat in, like you say, in the left or right stages when you get them to the wall, and then they splat, that just ends your combo there, and you just have to wait for them to recover. Which I'm not sure, but that's something that I might not like, if that is the case.
I agree. That's what I'm trying to say. After you get your teammates back, because that's the whole point of doing it. Now we're wall splatting for no reason. and it feels like it happens naturally too, just from being in the corner. From what I saw from the gameplay, I could be wrong. Like it actually has to be triggered by yourself, but
I was gonna say,
I've
didn't
seen
they
it
say
happen.
it had to be triggered?
Another problem I have is that in Tokon, if you throw someone in the corner, it wall breaks. So if you're in the center stage and you throw someone in the corner, it wall breaks. It wall breaks automatically. So it makes throwing the throw game weaker too. If you're not throwing either from the screen or back throwing someone, which I just don't like either.
Yeah, but it means no throw loops.
Does that apply to command grabs as well?
I'm not sure about command grabs.
But I don't know.
Your
I don't think
character,
we've seen a graph
one of your
like that.
characters. Throws will give you back one of your characters. I'm not the case for command grabs. But the reason why I like, and yeah, you're saying, back to what Rocco's saying, because he said, yeah, but no throw loops. That's the reason they're doing it, because they don't want people to feel pressure and get mad when they're stuck in the corner having to block a bunch of bullshit. So they're making it so that it's control for reset.
Fucking love throw loops.
Oh, okay.
You're the only one.
So Miss
Oh, I
Marvel
know.
has a command grab super. Looks like it doesn't. I think it's just a throw thing, like by itself, which is also something Dragon Ball related. Now that I think about it.
I was about to say, but in Dragon Ball, don't you only stage transition when you win the round?
Well,
Yep.
it's more along the sense of like I think it's like how the snapback
So when you
mechanic
take a
works in
character.
Dragon Ball.
No, you only in Dragon Ball you only stage transition when you win around. It's not just something natural that happens like during the.
Oh yeah, no, the
In
stage
Dragon
transitions
Ball,
in
no
that
matter
game are
what, you
aesthetic.
go back to neutral when you lose a character.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why it's kind of cool when it happens, because no matter what, you're going back to the same spot.
Yeah,
It's like, oh, that's cool.
it's entirely aesthetic. They should have done more with it, to be honest.
I'm fine. I actually like
Did you
that.
guys play Dragon Ball during the rollback beta when you would stage transition and it would like lag?
Bro, that was a good time, bro. I literally fell asleep on my PC desk on
The laughing stock of Twitter, man. Twitter was crazy.
Bro, that was
Nothing.
such a key time.
Nothing
Dude, I
was
actually
more
had the
funny.
reverse experience in the beta where I only had the stage transitions glitch and everything else was running perfectly fine, nothing else.
Nothing was more funny to me than my friend's fucking stage turning into a Minecraft background and TN multiplying into multiple forms because the rollback was like after imaging him. Y'all remember that glitch?
I do.
I don't.
Oh, that shit was hilarious.
Good
man.
times.
Oh, with the
TN
Gogeta
had
Blue? Oh
Baby
my
too.
god, so funny.
I wasn't there for that, bro. I missed
Yeah,
all
you
of
should
this.
have. Dude, you should have. It was like the time to play Dragon Ball.
Yeah,
That
it
was
was a
when
weird.
Dragon Ball was
I was
back.
going through like my party stage at that point, bro. I was partying like a motherfucker when that shit came out.
Yeah, it would create some weird after image. So like my friend would play TN, and he would like purposely do it to the point that there's like 40 TNs on screen. I literally can't see where he is. Good times.
So one more mechanic I want to bring up that's both in Tokon and the Invincible game is combo. How do we feel about?
Repeat that again.
I don't hate it.
Okay, I'll repeat it.
I think it's going to force people to either realize a situation where they can get a short combo, or it's going to make combo variety excel through the roof. We're going to see a lot of different routes from a lot of different people, or we're going to see the same route from everybody.
So the way combo limit works in Invincible and Tokon is that you can only do a certain amount of hits in a combo before the combo ends. But the way to extend that is to either use X special move or an assist, which like there's gonna be a combo and the meter hits you.
So, off the bat, no, I don't really like that because that does limit a lot of expressive nature.
Mobius, as my fellow BBTAG player, how do you feel about it?
Ooh, I'm playing devil's advocate, and I actually think it's godlike. Let me
Explain, please.
why. All right, so what do you? Okay, Skullgirls has a combo limiter built into the game. It's there to prevent people from doing infinites and stuff like that. And this is kind of a rough example, to be honest, but like, let's assume that, for example, I'm playing a tag fight, and I can only do 20 hits with my character, and I'm getting close to like 18 or 19 hits. What would you do to get them to keep going? So, like, what would you do at that point when you're reaching about 18 hits? What's going through your mind right now?
Super.
It depends on what you want. You can either go that or you can go.
Right, exactly. That's the point I'm trying to make. Is that like I think this is going to be a very reset heavy game.
But do you want that? That's the thing. Do you want that?
Considering how the active switch mechanic works and how you can't really like do the stupid stuff that I'm used to with BBTAG, I think that's another layer that'll actually add to like the whoa, this is like kind of I need to focus up, which will make me take the game way more seriously, to be honest.
I like that you use Skullgirls as an example because I wasn't exactly thinking Skullgirls, but I was like thinking like of it being similar. That just means that you that or the knockdown, like we were saying before. And I do agree. I do think the game is going to be reset heavy a lot, either standing reset heavy or air reset heavy, which could lead to a lot.
Maybe for certain characters, it would be optimal to just go for the full hits, and like there's some sort of knockdown situation that you can cause to like, create a setup. Like, we don't know. We only see 4 characters. They could get really... We haven't seen any type of glass cannon or true zoner or, like, any type of big character yet. Like, they can get very creative in how they approach characters. We got a lot to see.
I agree. He think that... I'm sure Rocco said it's going to halt combat expression a lot. And I do agree... The thing I agree with that statement is most of the combo is going to be what you usually is going to be the same stuff that you usually see. And what people do at the end of the combo and what they do with that combo to their advantage is where the actual expression is going to come from, if that makes sense.
Basically, I'm playing this game exactly the same way I play Blitzkrieg.
What do you guys think? Like Rod, Sal, and Mobius were saying.
Personally, I played a lot of MK, so I'm not a full reset guy because I just think of fucking smoke from MKX. I fucking hated that shit. The restand into reset, restand into reset, constantly guessing. That shit was annoying as fuck, personally. But like I said, I'm willing to try it. I'm with as an open mind as I can. Like I said, to me that game is gonna all be roster. And
dude, I'm sitting here thinking I'm a fucking idiot because I didn't even think of resets.
Oh yeah, man, I'm really good at breaking
I genuinely
Like-
didn't even think of that approach, dude. That's gonna cause people to refund Marvel.
Like, I don't know, after years of Injustice and Dragon Ball, I will do it, but if it does actually go that route, I will only keep playing if I will be the biggest bird. I'm going to find whatever dumb shit that can keep me in the game. That way I can continue to have some type of out-of-pocket advantage.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the point. That's what they're trying to aim for with this game.
I'll keep playing it, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna love it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, sure, like maybe a lot of the combos are similar in like in the beginning or the middle of the combo, but it's what you do both at the end and how you use the advantage that are really different in expressing what you want to do, which could be very cool depending on the player and the characters.
Also, we also live in the day, as a lot of people call it, in the day of FGC knowledge. Like, knowledge has never been easier to get for fighting games.
Dude, I remember playing MK9 and it was still harder to get knowledge than now.
Yeah, like, just think about it when we were kids back in the day. I didn't even know, like, games like Mortal Kombat Deceptions had infinites until, like, 2 years ago. That's how hard it was to get information on these games.
Take that information with a grain of salt. The way that games are made nowadays, in about a month, that shit might not even work.
Yeah, that's true. But I think like the reason why we see lack of like combo like expression is just because you can find the most. Why wouldn't you just do the most optimal shit? And it's easy to find nowadays. It's not that hard. You can look up a YouTube video. Say I want to play Miss Marvel from Marvel Tokon. Give me a combo guide. Here's the B&Bs. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No, I forget.
At the end of the day, everything's going to be optimized. That's the sad part. It's a lot quicker to get it now.
That's the nature of fighting game nowadays. Like, because of how readily available information is, people and how information gets out in an instant, and so everyone's on the. And that's a good thing, you know. The more, because at the end of the day, a knowledge check game for the most part.
I think what's more I wish to see, bro, it's not like creative combos. It's more of how people play with the characters. It's like what we were talking about earlier. I can give less of a shit if everyone uses the same combos. I want to see people play the characters different. That's what more I want to see from nowadays, not just the most optimal play style for a certain character. I want to see people play the character different. Like, let's say in Marvel Tokon, you know how Iron Man, they say Iron Man's going to be like a really zoner heavy, but I want to see someone to try to rush down with this motherfucker once in a while and just go ham and start trying to mix people up with Iron Man. Because the way tag games works, you can actually do that. No character is just limited to one play style, especially with tag games.
Hold on, Sal, I want to expand on that because it also feels like nowadays that nobody is a character loyalist. Like, it feels like everybody's willing to just drop their character like that as soon as they get nerfed. As soon as they even get touched.
I hate that trend so fucking much. Like that's how a lot of characters lose like base representation to just see what new shit they have, which leads to this false ass interpretation that the character can no longer be viable in upcoming metas.
I played Reptile throughout all MK1.
Thank you.
I am a character loyalist. I will always play Reptile in any MK game that he's in. He is my favorite MK character by far.
Yeah, I played Reptile back in MK1 as well. I am like, here's the thing: if you're gonna play a character, just you enjoy. Now, it's been a dumb trend that people just drop characters after nerfs. There are some nerfs bad that it can hurt a character for some people, but I believe that if you truly like a character, you'll be able to stick by and make them work just as well as before. They're just maybe not as strong as they used to be. And like, characters are bad as they used to be in the past. Nowadays, characters can fight against the whole cast. Just like you have to put in work in comparison. It's not like back in the day where characters were actually bad and unplayable.
Dude, fucking the 9-1 Kenshi Shiva matchup in MK9. That was a thing.
I need people to stop picking top tiers without understanding why they're top tier. Like, please. Like, you can have access to like a world-class kitchen, doesn't mean you know how to cook.
Facts.
Going back to the character loyalty thing. Oh my bad. Go ahead.
Well, it was actually on that subject. The problem with that whole character loyalty thing, it's patches. Patches come out for games too quickly. People don't have enough time to experiment with the characters and really like evolve for what they are. All they have time is to complain about the faults, and so they're just kind of waiting. There's kind of like a benefit to your game not getting patches anymore. It forces you to like look outside the box.
I agree. There's a reason why we literally call it patch culture nowadays, because that's what fighting games are now. Patch culture. We just wait for the latest patch because we know that there are some nerfs coming. People are complaining about. So a lot of people are. So at the beginning of the game, more people half-heartedly like playing a game and waiting for the updates to come. So they can just jump. Happen.
Is like I consider myself a character loyalist. I've been playing Katana for God knows how long now, and the only time I ever thought about dropping her was with MK11, and I didn't play her competitively for a while. Like because in that game she just didn't feel the same as she did in every other game, and I feel like that's the only time like you have an exception to like drop a character if you really like don't vibe with the character anymore, because one of my favorite things to do with Katana was fan combos. Like even with MKX and MK, or when I figured out how to do it in MK9, I was like, oh my god, this shit is so fun. Once an MK11 started, I can't do that shit anymore. I was like, okay, what was the point of playing this character then? My favorite thing to do, I can't even do anymore. And that goes back to like what you said, patch culture, and this listening to these stupid like the casuals online. Like they'll get like a lot of people, like a lot of these companies now, a lot of the devs will get rid of these things that characters can do for so long, just because people found it annoying. Like the casuals found it annoying.
Yeah.
You get what I'm
Katana
saying?
ever considered broken in MKX? I don't
Yes,
think
it's
so.
the very last patch. That's the very, very last patch when the game was already dead.
Okay. Let's take a look. Didn't we talk about that in one of our past podcasts?
We did, yeah, but it was just like
Yeah.
I feel like that was like this was on topic.
I was gonna say I don't even with her like fan combos. She wasn't even that like broken. She wasn't that top tier ever. Like throughout MK9, I really don't think so. And then, like you said, it wasn't until the end of MKX where everybody stopped playing the game. And
One
then
thing I want to
even then,
add.
Trevor runs that game now.
Yeah, sure.
One thing I just want to add to contribute. Shows where people playing the game too. That patch culture is because there are people like professionals and people that play the game that perpetuate a lot of drama farming and downplaying or doom posting or whatever you want to call it, and just contribute to patch culture more. It's not just the casuals; they do put in some of that, but I feel like the majority of people that do play the game, and because of that, it just makes things worse in my.
I agree. Yeah, it's not just the casuals. I shouldn't specifically say the casuals, but maybe it's. I mostly play zoners, so that's basically that most of the people who complain about my character. So
I feel that. I'm also a character.
I know
Dude,
most
people complain about Guile, but they still jump in when they see him charging a flash kick.
that's true.
You don't really have zoners like Guile and much in fighting games. I feel like there's been a trend, and it started before Strive, but I noticed that zoning kind of switched. Usually when you think zoners, you think a character like New 13, where the objective is to just piss people off by throwing a bunch of swords, and they're forced to come to you. But I feel like now the way that they design games, most zoners, their intention is actually for you to come. Or, I'm sorry, let me apologize. The way the character was designed is for you to come to them, like Guile. You want somebody to jump up to you, so that way you could just DP them. And you throw fireballs to piss them off, so they eventually come to you. That's the whole point. But they don't design characters like that anymore. They design characters with the opposite intention. It's a zoner with the intention of getting in your face to press buttons.
Yeah, the reason why they do that, it's an essential because it says it's a game. Not people complain about it. Yeah, people complain about that, and now take it away and put in more to make it more simple for people to play. That's an intentional thing fighting game companies have been doing. So people have less to come about against zoners and feel like they're not being able, because that being a unique archetype that fighting games have.
As a person that like specializes in this particular like play style, I like turtling. I enjoy playing patiently. I will 100% wait out the clock if I get the chance to do it. And it has a lot to do with the design of the characters. I have very limited options, and even in other games that I play, most of the characters that I play are slow, big, and require patience. They're kind of taking away that style. They don't want people to play patiently. They kind of want you to just immediately make a move. It's kind of like rock paper scissors. You got 3 moves. 3 times that the hand comes down, you better do something once that comes down, otherwise you're gonna lose. That's kind of what I feel like when I play modern fighting games. It takes away from the whole outsmarting your opponent.
I 100% agree with this. It is the same. I play the characters like Guile, or hell, my favorite fighting game character to play of all time is Starfighter. So that says enough right there. It's like my problem with Street Fighter 6 is like, dude, I don't even feel like there's a character I really want to play, because none of, like, even with JP being the way he is, it still doesn't feel like that's how he was meant to play. Like, why does the zoner have a teleport that can go across the fucking screen and cross you up from full screen? How does that make any sense, dude? Like, why am I trying to set up cross-ups from full screen? Like, why does that feel like that's my game plan? You know what I'm saying?
All right, kind of off topic, but personal opinion. Oh god, I've been saying that a lot all day.
It's all good.
I always felt like MK zoners have always worst design characters ever when it came to enter NetherRealm game, and I think the reason why is just because of the way that the games are designed. Like, they kind of want characters to go in and press buttons, and when you have a character that can essentially just zone, I can't imagine how frustrating like things like teleports and even like just remote zoning must be in a game like Mortal Kombat. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, that's
honestly,
a whole
it's not
level of defense.
I was gonna say, we got
sometimes.
Detroit's probably top zoner for our NRS scene. So if anyone can speak on that, it's him.
Wait,
So
what?
I feel you, man. I like, as someone that plays that kind of characters, like, just looking at it, I'm just like, damn, this shit looks like it sucks.
I mean, so how do you feel about Scorpion Teleport? Is that shit annoying to deal with? Do you hate that matchup,
Nah,
or
I
is
think
it
it's
just
not.
another matchup?
It's just another matchup, honestly. Scorpion's
Yeah.
teleport doesn't really bother me too
I
much.
honestly have more of a problem with Sub-Zero Slide.
This shit
Fuck
is
Sub-Zero
so
Slide.
ignorant.
Yeah, like, dude, that shit is so fucked. When I'm already spending full screen trying to zone you out and just slide under my projectiles, fuck you.
Thank you. Like,
Fuck you.
this shit's so fucking annoying.
Yeah, that's the that's
And
the
then you
one,
got the
man.
bones here,
Oh
so I
boy,
can't
where
even.
he has his air approach.
Even like characters like Kung Lao, I think it's not that bad comparatively. Actually, funny enough, Katana wins that matchup in MKX, even though he has the teleport and the dive kicks and shit. Katana still wins that.
Really?
The counter, yeah. Katana does really well against Lao.
His
So that
air
was
can
part of
just
the
beat
reason.
everything.
It also feels like, I don't know, maybe this is me playing zoners. Developers, they have full screen combo with zoners. Like, they're not meant to. Even when you're combo somebody, they want you to stay close. Even with the zoners, they just want you to be in their face no matter what. Because, like, back in the day in MKX, I could combo you full screen for like 20-30% with just my fans alone. I can't do that anymore in MK1. It's impossible.
Okay.
Man, it's hard to keep track of all the different numbers, man.
And I don't know if that's the same with, like, Arxis. Even with, like, I should just Strive. Happy Chaos doesn't, like, the character that I feel like supposed to be the zoner in that game, or even Busy, who I play, it feels like I have no screen, like full screen combos anymore. I'm like, why? I'm playing a zoner. I'm meant to play this. I'm meant to be here.
Every character that
Why
can
am I
zone
not?
in that
You're
game
still
is
thinking
garbage.
you're still thinking about Axel as like the main like zoning guy that you can just do combos from half screen in that same ideology.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing about Axel though, is that he can do that. Like that's part of his character, like part of his kit. It makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
You know, and it
I
was
don't think
weird.
like Axel's the most fun character to play against, but it's still cool to see, like from a spectator's point. It's
Right.
something different.
Now, do you agree or disagree with them making Happy a hybrid rushdown and or zoner character?
Is
I
Happy Chaos
completely
really
disagree with
considered a
that character.
zoner?
Not fully anymore, no.
I completely disagree with that character in general. That character ruined the fucking game, in my opinion. But that's a different topic for a different day.
But
I kind of want to get back to what movies were saying earlier, characters a bit, and what they want to talk about, and it's intentional. Like the basically like the mid-ground fighting for you to track and pay attention to, and they even that zoner so now instead of fighting from full screen. Just intentional design to make games more approachable and easier to understand and easier to get into. That's just the way it is. Makes people shit, but again, in turn, just removes and just like a unique archetype. And I was kind of saying before, that's just kind of how that's kind of been a trend lately. It just make things so easy, and that's the way they're doing. That's another way they're not just with option inputs and stuff. They want to make just aspects of finding combos for this. You guys think though?
I mean, they gave me quarter circles, I'm happy. Like, I don't know. If the game is fun, I'll play it. The game's not fun, I'll play something else.
That's how I feel personally. Like I said it before with the simple inputs. I don't have a problem with simple inputs. It's more of if I think the game's fun or not. Like me personally, even with the simple inputs, I really enjoyed 2XKO. I'm like, I will dick ride that game. That was probably the most fun I had in a game in a long time, in a fighting game in a long time. I never wanted to just go home and play a fighting game like that since MKX.
See, and that's a great thing too. Because at the end of the day, like we or other people complain, bitch, and moan about games. If you as long as you pop your shit and like the game.
Yeah, I agree, man.
And like I said, I get it. It's not that game is not going to be for anyone. As long as the game does well, I don't give a fuck. As long as I have people to play with, I don't really care. I'll find a way to have fun.
that part, yeah. Sometimes I might
What?
walk away, sometimes I might stay. It depends, because I've even been, as much as I say that I would probably do the same thing, I've also been biased, and I've also stayed and played games that I don't like, or I definitively hate and continue to hate, but I still just play it to either pass the time or play it and up to a certain point where I feel like if I did make an initial investment to it and this went wrong, I'm going to keep playing it to a point where I feel like this, as all the time I spent here, this is worth as much as I paid for it. That kind of feeling.
It would help if every game was just popular.
That
Dude, I wish Fatal Fury was more popular. No, I just wish it sold
yeah.
way more. That game's a great example of what a modern fighting game should be.
It really is, and it's a shame that that it's not as popular. It's fine that it's not as big of an IP as other names that have been around just as long as this, or it's been around just as long as them, and it's not as big as them in that same sense, but it has that same type of internal respect to the whole culture of fighting games. But it's just that the fact that the game isn't as successful seemingly, or it just wasn't marketed well. It's a shame.
I don't even think it was marketed that bad. Fatal Fury is.
I just like
its
how
own
that
case, bro.
has like decent control.
SNK games have always been niche within the fighting game community, even back like
Oh, y'all can
not
go.
be as popular as Street Fighter, yada yada. SNK games have fans and does its own thing, similar in a way to NR games.
They
Hey,
do
if
have
you
a
want to
lot
think
more
about it
work.
like this, for how much people are talking shit about Fatal Fury, it still do better than MK1, and that game sold way more. Just saying.
You know?
Is it? Did it get more tournament entrants?
Yeah, MK1 at Evo had the worst tournament entrance. It had the least amount. Let's just put it like that.
Yeah.
Damn, dude, I didn't know it did that bad.
Viewership.
It did horrible.
Viewership pulled through. It's just the engagement factor there did not pull through.
I don't know if it had the worst viewership, like what Mobius is looking up, but I do know it had more entrants, and that says something. MK should blow Fatal Fury out of the water. If we're talking just pure sales
If we're
wise,
talking
it
US,
should be.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's just the curse of the game. It just has a lot more casual players than it does competitive.
But also, MKX was one of the bigger ones when that game was out from year one. And you can say, but and people were still saying that same argument that, oh, MK is just a casual game. Back then in 2015.
I don't know.
So,
It could be like a billion
I'm one of those
factors,
people who
though.
truly. Yeah, it's just like, and if you truly like the game, you'll go out and play it.
Facts. I will maybe. I don't know. I really like BBTAG. I really don't like spending gas money.
In this economy,
You'll still go out to locals and shit.
Alright, you want me to be honest? Like, I'm just gonna speak from the heart here, man. There is no competition for me in my state. Like,
Tell me about it.
every time I go to my locals, it's... I just go. I wish the people, like, actually practice and played and, like, lab the game more, because it's getting to the point where it's just like, yeah, I'm starting to understand that literally everybody here entered because, oh, they saw BB tag, but they're not BB tag players. You know, I'm glad that I'm actually getting some competition with SQ. It's something to look forward to. It's one of the reasons why I haven't been playing the game, because I don't really like playing online. But,
just the inherent
completely
problem between
understand you.
offline and offline.
I completely
Like-
understand you with this because my competition is basically a state away, even in my own state. So we're like my locals. You can even ask Rocco here. I literally get drunk and when there's an MK local because I don't take it seriously because I know it's just
And he still
especially if
wins.
it's MK1. Yeah, it's free for me. It's literally I don't have to try.
It's so free that I've entered MK tournaments with Sal's fight stick and still beat some of the people there. Like those people are jokes when it comes to MK.
So it's all my competition is like 3 to 4 hours away. I completely understand.
That's just the inherent problem with online and offline differences, though. There's gonna be people that don't like how, but matches you want. It's just gonna be, like in North Carolina. I don't know if South just competition. Stuff like that just.
Okay. I think the last notion we can probably delve into is to also think about the productivity of the FGC climate, where I think like all of these games, what are they going to do for the climate of the FGC? And I think that's probably like a good point where we can probably close out here if we've got anything else that we can probably delve into in order to add to the melting pot of the conversation. That's a good closer, I think.
I'm very because my last point that was bring up basically. First, I want to do his first. So basically, what do you guys think of how the fighting game be these tag fighters or a tag slot to call it?
In what Jay Una said?
Kind of touch on this point with what Rod's saying. I think we need to stop the doomer activity, as these kids will call it nowadays. Where we actively prey on games' downfalls just because we like the other game more or we dislike this game. Because at the end of the day, someone's gonna like a game you don't like, and you're not gonna like a game they like. Like we got to stop this as the with tag games in general. It's like saying we can't have Tekken or Fatal Fury and Street Fighter at the same tournament because they're too similar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I feel that.
I think we need to stop that activity as just a whole community in general, because I just think it's a really stupid way to think. It's
gonna do nothing but bring each other down. Like, it's only gonna create resentment and hate.
That's why I said next year is going to be just enjoy tag games as a whole.
yeah, we got a lot to look forward to. That's how I see it. I'm more excited than.
yeah.
I agree. We're also all tag fans eating. There's 1v1 fans dooming and saying, "Oh, no, it's all tag." And I'm just like, we've had over a decade for that shit.
Dude, that's Sal.
What do you mean that's Sal?
It's a weird situation because it happened before, where all the tag games came out at the same time.
Really?
Kind of a coincidence.
Kind of a trend, actually. Tag game comes out, 2 more come after it.
When was the last time this happened?
Didn't Tekken Tag 2 come out at the same time as Marvel 3?
I think so. Either that or Ultimate.
11 came out that same era too.
It did. Oh, same era? Definitely. Tag 2.
So did Showgirls.
Hang on, Tekken
MK9.
Tag Tournament 2. That was a 2011. And what was the other one you said?
Marvel 3.
MK9 came out in 2011.
I mean, in 2018 we had Dragon Ball come out, Infinite come out, and BBTAG all in the same year.
And Injustice 2.
You guys know the thing about movies? So whenever they pitch an idea for a movie, they usually have a board meeting with multiple people that'll pitch an idea. And they'll pitch one idea to a particular movie industry, like Paramount, right? Like, I want to do a movie about a fucking bus or something. And so they originally don't like the idea, and they decide to go to a different company, and they pitch the idea. And then the first company comes back, and they're like, you know what, we're going to go with. So randomly, sometimes you'll end up with movies that are just the same in that situation. And I think they kind of we've had similar situations where fighting games have ran into that as well, where I feel like there's a sudden urge where we need a tag fighter, and every company is just like, okay, let's go ahead and build a tag fighter without this without talking to each other, and then suddenly we get 4 of basically the same games competing with each other at the same time. I need fighting game companies to stop doing that. It's one of the reasons why it's hard to be a fighting game player and recommend games.
I mean, we got MK,
too goddamn
Tekken
many.
8, and Street Fighter 6 within 3 months, did we not?
Yeah, chill out, please.
Then Tekken came out within 6 months. Tekken 8 came out within 6 months of that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, wasn't it all within like 3 months of each other?
Just about.
Yes,
Yeah.
we.
No, Tekken 8 takes, like, because MK1 came out in September, I want to say.
But you get what I'm saying.
And then,
Like, they all
yeah.
dropped like relatively at the same time.
Yeah, they didn't leave enough space for one to really try and have like a reign or have an identity on the field before you're sharing this drafting process with the other thing you're competing with
It still feels like even Fatal Fury kind of just dropped right after Tekken 8.
now. No, a game that didn't have a chance to really live and prosper because of Tekken 8's arrival was Uni 2.
Dude, I forgot Uni 2 came out.
That's exactly my point.
Dude, I've never played Uni.
Uni 2 literally only had
Bro.
like a week and a half to live, and then Tekken 8 just shattered.
Yeah, dude, timing is everything.
I
Comes up.
was like, you want to play some Uni? And he just goes, no.
No, timing is everything when it comes to video games, because you release a video game at the same time as a really big game, then your game has.
Honestly, the only one who I think's really in trouble of this is Invincible, because 2XKO is coming out relatively soon, within a month. We know we're not getting Tokon for at least another 6 months. Like, that's the very, very least. I'm
So
still thinking it's
Invincible
going to
is
come
kinda
out
on the
next
clock.
summer. So I'm still thinking it's going to come out in, like, July. So I still think we have about another year for Marvel Tokon. I just don't know when we're getting Invincible.
I think Invincible and Impact are gonna have their own little like niche, like communities.
Crowds.
Yeah, me.
It's gonna be kind of similar to like Battle for the Grid, like that kind of situation.
I was thinking Invincible probably might honestly take like a Killer Instincts approach and like have its own type of audience like that, where it's sizable depending upon the platform, but it's still its own thing over there. I think it would still be in a better position than Power Rangers.
Well, I was talking more along the lines of like how Power Rangers was, a thing during the same time as like BBTAG and Fighters, how they kind of had their own little niche community, but they also had a lot of crossover with those tag games in particular.
Oh, okay.
I honestly forgot Power Rangers came out during that time, too.
I mean, for tagging in particular. One tag game to another with good stuff. My bad, Raven. Did it interrupt you?
Brother, this commentary shit's hard. That's why, like, I play characters. So, like, if I accidentally do something like that, at least I got my ass covered.
Gotcha.
No, please continue.
I mean, all I was gonna say tag games because tag games play in similar, have very similar how it is. So once you just get used to the mechanics, you can usually swap over. So the communities will correctly. That's if people on Twitter do that, and I think it can happen.
Okay, Mobius. We'll just get you drunk as fuck again.
Ha.
That way you're not
Right.
talking over people. Was it you that I did that? Or I shouldn't say that I did that when we were commentating tag, and you were like, "I'm gonna join in your drinking game today, Sal." And then I know I had someone puking one time.
Probably. I mean, I've definitely joined you in the drinking game and got myself messed up, but not puking messed up.
I know I had one of you guys blacked out. That's all I remember. And then the next day they're like, "Sal, how do you do this?"
No, I had my limits. That's a work night.
Mm.
That shit was so funny.
I'm
Yeah.
really gonna try to go to Frosty's. I want to see you guys in person again.
Yeah.
I really gonna try to go to Frosty's. I want to see you guys in person again. Yeah, I'm really gonna try to go to Frosty's. I want to see you guys in person again. Yeah, I'm really gonna try to go to Frosty's. I want to see you guys in person again. Yeah, I'm really gonna try to go to Frosty's. I want to see you guys in person again.
I'll bring Tic Tac, or I'll bring what's it called? Not Tic Tac Toe.
I am not
I'm excited
playing
to go to
goddamn
Frosties.
Connect 4 with you, bro.
Hey,
Yeah, I'll
Mark,
bring some Connect 4 just for Taco. I'm gonna give it to him as a gift. Right here.
bro, I want to see you guys again.
All right, I think this is a good spot to end it. We've been going on for over 2 hours, longer than I thought this ever was gonna be, but it was a really good talk. So,
I wanted to bring up one last point.
Sure, go for it.
all right, go.
All right, the last thing I want to Tokon has to be good. So see. So we both know that Blaze Blue and Guilty Gear are big legacy titles have that have been changed a lot compared to the previous titles, and because of that, I don't really know if I want to play. Tokon has to be good, and it needs to appeal to a because no matter what, people are going to compare it to both previous games, good and deliver on a monumental front for the entire fighting game community. I think Arcs is do it, but it's going to be difficult.
I think it'll be difficult, but it's an order that they can probably meet. They just gotta talk with the correct people, and they need to listen to the correct audience.
Yeah, I was kind of. I hope I was getting.
Honestly, I think with the state that tag games are, I think every game has to deliver at this point. Like, because they're with how much games are, especially in the tag genre, are coming out. If your game ain't good, it's not gonna sell, or it's not gonna do well. Like, because at the end of the day, if you just keep if none of these games are it's gonna fail very bad. Because they're gonna be like, why the fuck would I play this when I can just wait a few months and just play Token? Or why the fuck would I play Token when I can just go play 2XKO for free? Or I can go buy Invincible if I want to play like a 3v3 fighter.
Again,
If I
timing
don't
is
like the
everything.
44.
Well. I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna play that. You're gonna play Tokon because it's Marvel, and it's gonna be advertised at Evo, and it's gonna have a stupid high pop bonus, and everybody, including family members, are gonna be playing this game because it's gonna be massive.
DNF had that same.
I hope. I'm just hoping the game doesn't suck gameplay wise, because it would be great to have a tag fighter that's popular and good.
Absolutely agree. Here's the thing: people playing Tokon, but at the end of the day, we want the game to succeed because the big Tokon KO a mainstream to become both popular with both the mainstream players, and if all three games can do that, that's a net positive for the HGC no matter what.
We are the oldest competitive game. We were the originals. The FGC was the original. You didn't know that. But yet I still feel like we're lacking in so many ways. And you can blame a lot of things, but the FGC should be way bigger than it is.
I mean, fighting games are niche.
I think it should be smaller, to be honest.
Well, we already talked about.
Shit.
I agree. Grassroots were all. It get the recognition that they deserve. But the fighting games, I think the fighting game community will always maintain the relatively same fighting game talked. We'll find.
Okay.
Yeah, either way,
I guess.
only time will tell. These games got to deliver. We'll see. But I think after that, this is the spot to end it.
Cool.
Anyone have any like closing? Or I'll go one at a time. I'll start with Mobius because he's the first on my left. You any shout out you want to do, or anywhere people can find you? You want to say real quick?
I don't know. Play
Like,
Sonic
you got a Twitter or
Generations.
something,
It's very good.
Wait, what was that? I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Yeah, play a new Sonic game. It's very good. Actually, no. Play Spark the Electric Jester 3. Underrated indie game. That
Alright,
my shout out. That was my
Taco, you got anything you want to shout out, or you want to sponsor real quick? I got something to say.
Hell yeah. Of course, play BBTAG, but my Con of ice. So MVCI tournaments. We're starting next week. We're doing a whole online tournament series tag with big prize pools, $500 each for 2 different prize pools. And tag. It starts next Tuesday. It's called Fate GP at BBTAG. So check that out. We also support and just support the BBTAG scene in general, not just, but also the major held in North Carolina. I'm sorry, I forgot the name, but support that too. Support Carolina because I live there and I really support their fighting game scene. So shout them out too.
yes. SQXL. You can find it by simply just Googling that or finding it on StartGG by looking up Scrappy Sensei, who you can also find on YouTube. He has a very good video about the quote-unquote failure of BBTAG. You should watch it.
I gotta check that out.
That sounds really familiar. I think I might have seen something like that before. There's a dude that goes over a lot of different fighting games, and like the Rise and Fall was just like the main point where they went down.
It's multiple different stories of like different scenes and different things. He's been wanting to make videos about Under Night. It's not actually about the quote unquote failure of BBTAG. It's by the way, I picked out that profile picture. He asked me like which of the things do you think would bother people more? So yeah, it's there for clickbait. It's actually a very informal video about like of the what happened in BBTAG, like the mechanics that they brought into the game, how the community like shaped it into what it is. It's very informative. I would recommend watching it.
I agree. And you know what? Shout out to Scrappy Sense. Great content creator. Love seeing, love that guy.
For sure. Alright, Rod. Anything you want to shout out, or any like thing you want to sponsor for yourself? Anywhere we should check out?
Let me see. I won't advertise myself, so there's always time for that later. For now, I want to say to just stay supporting the scenes you care for. Support the TOs that take the time to host them, especially the smaller scenes. They need the support more than the bigger scenes. They can't keep it grassroots without the actual integral support in order to help reinforce the foundation. Speak your mind responsibly. One voice always makes a difference to create change. Even if you don't think it's there, it is. It just has to start the first buzz of the beehive. Hashtag support Dragon Ball Fighters. You don't have to play it, but support the scene so the next generation can live and prosper,
Alright, Rocco. Your turn.
Go see the new Superman movie. That's all I really got to say. Be kind.
Oh, right.
Alright. Last things I want to say. Shout out to Neutral Ground and GFB. Great locals. If you're from Michigan, go check them out, please. Great people all around. Go support them, please. They're awesome. especially if you play like Street Fighter, Strive, Tekken. They'll love to have you. Other than that, check out my Twitter at Salfontes, or no, it's not Salfontes. It's actually meatball.sal. Check out my YouTube, where this is probably going to get posted, and then hopefully we can get this on Spotify and all that other shit and Apple Podcasts a little bit later. But yeah. Also, for the closing of the stream, shout out for the new followers I got. Mobius Raven, Evil Vulture, and Di Rosa. Thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate it.